Welcome, everybody. I am Jeremy, Busted Knuckle Motorcycles.
Otherwise
we're here
known
to
as
talk
the
about
asshole
Spring
in the
Fling
top
and
left corner.
a little bit of everything.
And if you
Yeah,
agree with that,
right.
hit the like button.
Right there.
Yeah. Like it says, the asshole in the top left corner. Hit the like button.
Yep. All right. Everybody else want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jay.
Go, Jay.
I think
Go ahead,
somebody's
Corey.
got YouTube on in the background.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
It's probably Jeremy.
That noise.
No. I mean, I haven't clicked the link for it to be up there, so.
The missus has it on the big TV, but I thought that's what you're hearing.
I doubt it. So, Sal Tramp, I think you're next for the introductions.
Oh, I am. Okay. Hi. My name's Corey, and the name of my channel is Saddle Tramp. And am I supposed to say what I do?
You're addicted to
You can
egos.
if you want.
Just make, like everybody else here, make motorcycle content, rather me with me, it's like working on bikes or riding somewheres or trips or something motorcycle related of some sort. And usually, as I say, I don't know what I'm going to film next sometimes, but hopefully it will be interesting, that type of stuff, but it's going to have motorcycles in it. All right, guy, you got to go down. Anyway, but that's the extent of it. Oh, and I'm looking.
Introduce the cat.
Huh?
Introduce the cat. You need
Oh.
to introduce the cat.
Oh, I thought I did that. Here, let me do that.
Famous.
For us, you didn't do that for everybody else.
That's right.
Everybody else needs to know about the cat.
Okay, this here is Senor Gato, aka Mr. Cat. He's been on the channel a few times, but it's been a long time since he's been on TV, and he's tolerating this right now. Anyway, but he's sometimes he hangs out in the garage with me and gives me pointers. Not really, but anyway, but that's him.
I guess we're up. I'm Bill. This is Ray. We're Witchcraft Cycle Works, and we just like to ride, tune them, modify them. We live motorcycles.
You like to chop shit. Say it
I
like
do.
it is.
Cut up a perfectly good motorcycle and stretch it out.
That's what choppers are. Sacrifice practicality and safety for looking cool.
I
Yeah,
try.
Trying to look cool.
You only live once.
Yeah. Nobody gets out of this life alive, right?
I've never seen a banker show up at a fucking funeral home and drop a bag of money in your coffin. So you might as well spend it on cool shit and take it with you.
Yeah.
So I'm Mike, riding in the Ozarks. I talk about motorcycles. I go to events. Thankful for the people that helped support me being able to do stuff like this guy below me here, Jeff from the Cathouse and Schmidt Law Firm, and the great people I get to meet. Like I got to meet Road Rush, and I've known Jay for a while, and Busted, and I've known Witchcraft Cycle Works for like 7 years before we ever did YouTube. And I got to meet Corey here recently, and that is one of the greatest things about doing content on YouTube and stuff is like most bike events, it's the people you make, the connections you make and stuff. But it's really cool when you get to hang out with people that you've been following on YouTube and, have a relationship and, have a drink and break bread and all those good things at an event. So I want to say thanks to Jeff right now for, all the work him and all the other sponsors do for like Spring Fling, where it got to bring all of us together and hang out together.
Round of applause for Jeff.
Uh-oh.
Here's to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Terry.
We're loading it.
All right, I'm Terry. My channel's Road Rush Nation, and love all things bikes. Luckily, my husband is also a bike fanatic, so he puts up with me and my passion. Because poor guy, we get out, we just ride cross country. I have a regular job that has to pay for all that fun stuff, and I want to give a big shout out to Jeff and thanks for putting us together in a content house. So I got to meet all these people in person. And I will tell you, the Cathouse is an awesome place. It's iconic in Eureka Springs for bikers, and it was just a great time. So thanks, Jeff, and we'll be back every year because it's awesome.
We will literally be back next weekend for the International Female Ride.
Yeah, you can't get rid of us.
There you go. There you go. That's right. The International Female Ride is next weekend. Unfortunately, I'm up in Kansas City, and it's crazy up here right now because we got the NFL draft going on, and literally just
Oh,
about
yeah, that's right.
5
Yes,
minutes
that's
from my
something about
house is. Oh, it's crazy right now. Everything is football, and you can't get anywhere. So I won't be able to make it down there, but it's worth the ride that we took through the storms. And Jeremy busted knuckle. He went through storms too, just to get down to be at the Cathouse and spend the weekend with everybody. It was great.
Oh yeah, I'd do it again to spend the weekend with you all. It was fun.
Well, I just want everybody to know I cheated. I left early.
Yeah, you were kind of a whoosh. You went into Branson the night before so you wouldn't get wet.
So apparently Net Shark here in the chat is saying there's a back of a sign at a rest stop on Needles Highway has my sticker on it. So I guess in August when I do Needles Highway, I'm gonna be looking for that thing.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That'll be a good
That's
hunt to go
cool.
find. That's like one of them Easter egg hunts. I'll see if I can find it. We will be there in August.
On
Or
the
Jeff,
back
are
of
you
the
gonna?
sign?
Are you? It's on the back of a sign at a rest stop on Needles Highway. Which a rest stop I'm thinking might be the overlook thing.
Yeah, one of the pull
Needles?
offs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jeff, are you going to Sturgis this year?
Oh, of course, yeah.
All right. Well, we maybe we can all hook up and go do Needles together. That'd be a cool video.
Really cool.
It's the one with the bathroom there, Mike.
The one with the bathroom. Hold it. I'm from Missouri. They all got bathrooms as long as there's a tree in
Right.
the vicinity. And if not, you cop a squat behind a bike and do what you ask. Firecracker's not here, but she could testify.
Jeff, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Jeff. Me and my wife Angela are owners of the Cathouse here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. We're also the owners of Spring Fling Rally, and over the last couple of years, we took on some partners and sponsors. Kyle with Pig Trail, Andy and Gary with Boyens, Switchback, and Marshall with Rock and Pig. Those are all three local businesses here. We try to stick together. I really preach unity. You know what I mean? Really are proud of Eureka. We've done a lot to increase the motorcycle world here. Mike knows he's been around a little while with us. We've had walk the political line a few years. You know what I mean? And, when the world went through a very distressful time, we stuck with our events and still kept up with the rules and regulations here. And we were very blessed. But we tried to keep it as normal as we could and take everybody's health and risk and all that into consideration. So we went along with our events. We've always prided ourselves in being in touch with our customers and trying to do the best we can. If you guys know, when you come to our joint here, man, I sit right out in front. I want to hear what's going on. I want to see what's going on. I want to meet people that are coming through our joint. If there's a problem, I want it dealt with as soon as possible. I want y'all to feel like you're in a place of secure, fun, and all the things that I look for when I go to places. That's the way to run this place, and that's the way we want to keep it. We have the Spring Fling Rally grew from a small group of our friends very organically, and we got the same people that come every year, and they bring a couple more friends. And that's what's coolest about it. This rally is grown from the people that, such as yourselves, that bring more friends each and every time. I've got to know each one of you. I take my time to do that. I mean, we don't think we're something that we're not. I mean, me and Angela come from very meager existences, and we try to do what we say we're going to do, and know that we're putting on a quality event. And one of you make it special, and we try to make it a little bit bigger.
So I'm going to give a little testimonial here because I don't know if I've known Jeff longer than anybody else. First time I ever went to the Cathouse was because somebody in our group wanted to meet Adam there at BBB. And I didn't know Jeff for 2 or 3 years after that. But, and I didn't do YouTube back then. I didn't have a YouTube channel or anything else. Wasn't even on the radar. It was pre-2019. And he's always been like that, meeting people at the door, welcoming them to the Cathouse. making sure people are happy, making sure people are satisfied, they're getting good service, serving that world famous Reuben sandwich. Now he was a little mild on his introduction there. They just said they own the Cathouse. They didn't happen to mention that they own that the Cathouse is the #1 biker bar in Arkansas, voted by bikers. They didn't self-declare that. That was voted by bikers, and that is the #1 biker bar in Arkansas. And they earn that title every day.
And we have one more jumping in here.
Am I late for the party?
Just in
You're right
time.
on time, right when you needed to be here.
Did you bring anything to drink?
Bubbles? Hey. Hi, guys. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulties. How is everyone?
Good, you.
Good.
Just
Good.
lovely.
Good.
Hey,
Just
Mike.
in time to introduce
Ozark-
yourself, Charlie.
Charlie Fagun. I'm head of the custodian of the Harley Davidson Flea Market. We've got, I think, 254,000 members nationwide, worldwide. We do a lot of bike parts, vintage motorcycles. We do a little bit of stuff, actually a lot of stuff for special needs kids around the nation. And good group of guys. And we had a little rally last year, and we had them here from all over the United States that showed up to see these kids and have a good time and enjoy the Ozark Mountains. And this year we've decided to go south a little bit to Eureka and get us on the pig trail and try to enjoy and have a good time.
Well, I didn't get to come to your event last year because the timing's a little off for me. So I don't know if I mentioned this to you when we met last weekend, but I'm involved in the Mid-America Freedom Rally at Buckhorn. So I'm the chairman for that. And I think last year your event fell like on our weekend when we had to do our work day to get everything ready for that. So when you announced earlier in the year you were moving it back a couple of weeks, I was really excited because that means we're going to get to come this year.
Right on. I think the move is beneficial to the group. I mean, let's face it, guys. Eureka Spring is set up. We've got the lodging. We're right on the pig trail. You have the dining, the lodging, the places to eat. Some of the ladies that come, they like to shop. You know, we've got the shops. I mean, we all know it's an excellent place to have a rally. You know, I've got the membership to get them here, and I hope that that this could grow into something each year, get a little bigger and bigger. You know, and that's my intentions. You know, this group of people, it's hard to explain, man. You've got every walks of life in this group, man, from lawyers to doctors to plumbers to electricians, but we all kind of click to the same beat when it comes to the group, man. It's all about helping. We say keep our knees in the breeze and these old bikes on the road, and trying to keep the old school alive of helping one another. That's what you'll find in the Harley Davidson flea market. It's a little different than what you see out here in the world these days.
Hey, you mind say something?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, so and what Charlie's talking about is Charlie's created what his page is the Facebook page is the Harley Davidson Flea Market and Socialize. What we're having in Eureka Springs is July 9th and 10th and 11th. We're having Charlie has created the Ozark Mountain Rumble. You know what I mean? And the reason we teamed up with Charlie, number one, is I don't usually do business with people unless I get to know them. But everybody kept on telling me about this guy, the parts pimp, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this guy?" You know what I mean? People are driving up to me, locals and stuff, and they said, "Man, you got to meet this Charlie. You got to meet this dude, Charlie, man." Well, finally, I talked to this guy, look him up a little bit on the deal, and I get in his group. And what highly impressed me about him is that group, man. Number one, I seen like he made a post and said, "Hey, listen, there are no stupid questions. I will tolerate no disrespect in this group." And I really admired that, man, because, some of us take for granted. And there's a lot of smart ass people in some of these groups now. And, they try to say what a real biker is or what this person is. Everybody's got an opinion. What I thought was cool about Charlie is he said, "Hey, man, what about a kid that doesn't know nothing about a bike and wants to know what a clutch lever is? Do you make them feel like an idiot answering the question, or do you just be helpful and answer the fucking question. You know what I mean? And then move on instead of castrating about it. Charlie doesn't. I think that's why his group has became so big. Well, what he's done to kind of bring his group together from all across the country is he created a damn rally. Charlie, I do rallies. I don't know why the fuck you decided to do that because it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? But you put yourself out there, and he chose Eureka Springs to do it this year. I feel honored to work with Charlie. I wanted everybody to kind of come in and bring the support mechanism I've got, which is all of you. You know what I mean? Because I think that you guys all work well together, and I think together we can put the message out there. The other thing on top of the kind of the cherry on top of the cake is Charlie helps kids. You know what I mean? He asked me, he said, Jeff, what do you think the best money would be in the community? I said, hey, man, probably the school, man. They know who has, you know, the kids that need an issue. He says, let's do it. He doesn't, when you ask the man a question, he has immediate response because he sides on right, man. He's just a simple guy, man, that likes to put people together. And that's who the Cathouse is going to do business with. I'm not messing around. I'm getting too old in my years in life, just like all of you. And man, Road Rash Nation, I never had met you before in my life, man. You came up and you just generally, and also too, Saddle Tramp, you guys came up and you asked me a question. I never had really met you guys before. And you said, hey, Jeff, do you mind if I get you on camera? This world and the world I grew up in was built on respect, camaraderie, and helping each other out. You know what I mean? All this other bullshit that goes on with all that other stuff, I just don't want to deal with it, man. And Charlie's one of those guys. He believes in doing the right thing, you know, having fun with his people, and then putting everybody together because that's what we kind of all get into. JS, you're becoming new young talent. I watch your videos and say, how the fuck does that guy do that? You know what I mean? I love that. Ray and Will, you know I love you guys, man. Will, you're a very good artist. Ray, you guys are sincerely genuine to my people. Busted Knuckles, I didn't get to meet you too much, but when you came up to me, I noticed one thing about you. You were adamant about looking me in the eye. Now, back in the days,
I try to do that to everybody.
We might have had an issue, but I like that because it's a depth. That shows that you have character to me. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to hook you guys all up together because that's what I feel from Charlie, man. And the thing about it is Charlie's willing to work to make his group better. He wants to fix things. He learned from his mistakes just like I do. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Charlie, but that's why I want to associate the Cathouse and us with this rally. You know, I've talked about this before. Would I do something else? Would I do other things? I very much want to grow Spring Fling, and I want to make it the big spring rally. But I have no problem working with Charlie because he wants to take care of his people and he wants to take care of those that are less fortunate. That's a hard thing to find in this commodity, and I think it's a good thing to do.
Integrity is everything.
It really is.
Speaking of integrity, because I just got a picture of this sign that's supposed to have my sticker on the back of it. And it's not my sticker. It's Dan, Ozark HD Rider sticker. So I'm not famous. I'm not on a sign at Needles, but if I can find that sign, my sticker's going right next to his.
I just covered his up with it.
There you go.
No,
That's a joke. That's a joke.
You don't cover up my boy Dan's sticker now.
To touch a little bit on what Jeff's saying and where Jeff's coming from, guys. You know, you mentioned the Spring Fling, and I know you have your Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. What I bring to the table, it's like I told Jeff from Jumpman, it's not about the dollars to me. Yes, it brings in revenue, but more than anything, this is an annual meeting of the Harley-Davidson Flea Market. This is where our groups, they take their vacation. They have already rented houses, bungalows, and motels. This is where they chose to take their vacation to come and meet that guy that sent me that fender 6 months ago that helped me finish my dream. This is a meeting place for this group, an annual place, and it's faces that we've not seen before from all over. When I did the group ride last year, I had license plates from all over the United States. But I want this to be, basically this is just, hey man, this is where we're going to meet up. This is our annual meeting, a meet and greet. Come meet Gibbs. And Gibbs is a whole nother story. Gibbs is our president. He's a Down syndrome boy from Kentucky that I met through the group. He come riding in on the page on the back of his daddy's hog, screaming wild hogs. I was supposed to be in Ventura, California for Chopper Fest. Gibbs was wanting to come visit me. He had to have a surgery under his arm. I called the guys in California, told them I wasn't going to make it because I'd found out Gibbs' birthday was the 9th of December. My airbrush guy, which pays for NASCAR, painted Gibbs a helmet. I got in the truck. I drove 10 hours into Ohio, and I met Gibbs for the first time live in person at his birthday and presented him with his helmet. It's from there, man, this kid has grown on me. You know, that's the whole man bro nation. When you give Gibbs something, he'll say, thanks, man bro. Well, we actually got Gibbs a plaque, made him the president. We got him in a sidecar. There's hundreds of bikers that shows up at his house to buy his shirts. They drove for thousands of miles last year to come to this rally, got off their bikes and made a beeline for Gibbs. I don't know how to explain it other than, man, these kids, they don't care, you know, what color your skin is, what your political beliefs are, how much money you have or don't have, man. You know, they love us all. And I think me especially, but a lot of the group will flat out tell you those kids have made them better people. If you've never been around special needs kids, and you understand where I'm coming from, man, to see the world through their eyes is something that everyone needs to see. It makes us better people. And last year, you know, my rally, that's what it was really all about, was just bringing these kids in. I flew a little girl that had beat cancer that we gave a bike to in Oregon in. I brought Gibbs in. I brought them kids in and threw them a party. And it had a hell of a turnout. And I thought, everybody's like, we need to do this again. And here I am.
Well, you know, I'm going to throw a little something out here about the kids thing, because Firecracker's not in here with us. She's out with the girls and doing karaoke and stuff. But Jeff and some of them that know us, she's got a soft spot for kids. And the last 2 years, she's done benefits for kids with cancer. And Harley Davidson picked up on it from one of my live streams. And a guy from Harley Davidson Corporate reached out and donated to the silent auction stuff. And our Kansas City fans in the audience tonight are going to probably maybe remember this, but all year, Patrick Mahomes has been wearing a green bracelet on his wrist. That's in remembrance of Aiden. He's a little boy in my hometown, and he didn't get to meet Aiden in person, but Aiden had cancer. We did a benefit for him. We raised $27,000 in one day for him, and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs donated to it and everything else. And he had he knew he was terminal, but he had 2 wishes. One was to go viral on TikTok, which we all made happen. They banned him twice. We made him go viral again. And then to meet Patrick Mahomes, and they did a teleconference with him, and he didn't get to meet him in person, but he got to talk to him and stuff. And Patrick Mahomes wore that green bracelet all the way through to the Super Bowl in remembrance of Aiden and stuff. And I'm telling you, there is no better feeling, and you know this, Charlie, than doing something for a child like that to make their dreams come true, to make them feel as special as they are, to help them realize how special they are. And she's not here, so I'm going to say it for her, but I'm going to try not to tear up. But, I mean, we've done this for a couple kids now, and it's an amazing thing to do something for children like that and stuff. And I love my Harley Davidson motorcycle. I don't always love what the corporation does, but I do love the fact that they do reach out. I mean, and I experienced this firsthand, that they reach out and they will do something for a community like this that they don't get any press for or anything else. They just donate. They send $1,000 worth of stuff for us to auction off at a silent auction to help raise money for that child. And they sent him some things for us to give to him personally.
That's what they've done for
Every year during my Christmas for kids, I've got Appleton Harley Davidson, Pig Trail Harley Davidson, several Harley Davidson dealerships around the nation. These kids boxes of goodies. You know what I'm saying? Shirts, hats, poker chips. They step up, you know, and I have to give credit where credit's due. A lot of my dealerships step up and help me with these kids, and they enjoy doing it. That's how I hooked up with Harley Davidson as one of their employees, as a member of my group.
Kyle's an awesome dude. Kyle always, he's 200 miles from me. 200 miles from me. And when we do these benefit for these kids, he's donated. He's like, he follows the channel, and he's like, hey, can I send you a gift card from Pig Trail Harley Davidson?
Right.
Well,
Charlie, again, can you share with everybody the dates of the rally and where it's going to be so that everybody that's watching can put that down?
As far as I know, it's June. We're going June 9, 10, and 11. I'll be there on a Thursday. It's a 3-day event. The last day is going to be a ride day. I know they've got the stunt bike riders coming. We've got a bike show going on at the Rogers location with prize money involved. Gibbs will be there. We got some kids coming in. We got a party going on at Jeff. Now I've decided this year. Last year, man, that's all I did all day was meet and greet and shook hands, and I really didn't get to enjoy the rally. So this year, I'm going to open my T-shirt booth up every morning till 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I'm done. I'm going to the Cathouse to party with Jeff. All my members can find me there. And that's just where I decided that early. You know, I'm not going to sit there and sell T-shirts all night. You know, I'm going to enjoy some rally and have some fun.
You couldn't pick a better spot.
Got to have fun.
Wouldn't you all
Yeah.
agree? Hey, we got another guy. I'm gonna try and point at him. He's over there. That guy. We need
Yeah.
to introduce him and let everybody know who he is.
He's down there.
hey, Randall.
Go ahead,
what's up?
Randall.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
What's going on, bud?
He's so calm.
Tell him who you are and what you do.
So I sing songs and ride around on the bike. Well,
Gary's
sing
in
this.
the car.
I have no idea why I'm in this group. I don't know what I bring to the table. I'm just hanging out.
You also do fishing too, right?
Dude, we had a great trip just yesterday, man. It's not a fishing thing on here, but man, it's cool. It was a husband and wife and their son, and we went out. We got our tails handed to us all morning, and I felt so bad, like charging them for the charter. And I said, "Look, how about this evening? If you have nothing going on, I'll take you guys out. We'll hammer some lake trouts." So we went out, and the boy reeled in 7 lake trout. The wife reeled in 2, and the dad reeled in 1. And I accidentally caught 1 too as I was cleaning the lines up. We kicked butt, but it came late. We had to work hard for it.
That's good.
Good deal.
Hey, I'm just going to put this out there. If you guys are
Good
fishing,
stuff.
if you're going up to Laconia this year, I'm planning on having the boat up on the water up at Laconia. That's lake trout, and they have salmon up there too. But I'm going to be targeting lake trout. If any of you guys are there, look me up. We'll go out and we'll put some fish on the deck.
I want
Hey,
whatever.
Randall, what's the status on the bike?
Oh, yeah.
So it's Beat me it's to the it, clutch- Bill. Yeah, it's the clutch basket and the compensator, but they haven't put it on the rack yet. So it's still it's either at Pig Trail Harley Davidson or it made it over to the shop. But I really don't know much more than that. I know what needs to be fixed on it, but they haven't given me any diagnostic on it. So
I know a guy with
bars.
Hmm?
You got a loose nut behind the bars.
So, Jeff, this guy Randall, you'll relate to this because you go to K River. The first time I met him was last year, not this last K River, but the K River before that. He's a starving guitarist hanging around the campfire, playing up there at the clubhouse, and I was up there with River Bluff Baggers and this and that, and he's singing songs, and we were all ready to go back to camp. We're like, "Hey, you're a musician. You'll do about anything for money, so we'll give you $100 to come back to the camp and play music for us." He's like, "I'm in." So we brought him down to the camp down there by the river, and he sat down there at the camp with us and played songs for a couple hours. And we gave him a little money to help him get on down the road. And we've been.
It was like
friends ever since.
$170. I
just
already
passed the
played
hat.
on. I would have played for free for these guys, but yeah, till I left their camp, they had like $170 they had given me. It's pretty incredible.
I've known.
I think they funded my trip all the way to California.
I've known Randall a little while. Good guy. I met him with Adam and stuff. You know, that's a great thing about being around Adam. I mean, I've known him. A lot of y'all have came through the kit or met him through different endeavors. You know what I mean? Some of you. That's why I met. I think that's why I met you at the first time, right? In person. And
Right.
and that's part of back to the. The group that we
Anybody else having trouble hearing him?
He's cutting a little
Okay, it
bit.
wasn't
About
just
when
me.
you guys were talking about the kids, what Charlie does, man. And that's why it's so
Hey, Jeff, bud, you're
cool
cutting
to
out pretty bad.
work
Yeah, Jeff, it's hard for me to hear, but what I'm picking up is,
with our
all the time the little bit of time that I've had with you, Jeff, is it's always been a little distracted because either you're working or I'm working. But I do know one thing is we haven't talked and spent real one-on-one time. We haven't spent nearly enough of that. We need more of it. That's a compliment. That means I like hanging out with you.
Yeah, I think Jeff froze up here. So
I think so.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Jeff was talking about Adam and he froze up there, but I hope all of us know Adam's out doing the Great American Convoy, the Cathouse is supporting that, Pig Trail supporting that, and I mean that's a big endeavor. 120 dealerships in 83 days, and so I think all of us need to keep Adam in those thoughts and prayers and hope for good weather for him because I see that as a big adversary for him. I mean, he's got a really tight schedule and stuff, but it's a big deal.
The weather's always an adversary for anybody who's got a schedule to move across country like that. And you're going to hit everything, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But he's done it so much. I'm sure that he's got he has some contingencies in place,
Oh yeah, he's supposed to stop by in Biloxi right by me.
It's still breaking up.
Someday in the future.
There you go. You were pretty clear that time.
Well, we got a little bit. I think he's going to drop out and come back in or something here. We'll see what we get here. But I wanted to keep things rolling for us. So, Charlie, the Ozark Rumble Rally, last year was your first year at it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this will be the second annual. It's cool that you moved the date. I know for me personally, that helps me get there. I'm gonna plan on being there. I don't have anything scheduled that weekend, so I'll probably bring a crew, whoever I can, get to come hang out with me. Maybe if Witchcraft Cycle works, I know they love to go to Arkansas. So if they don't have anything that weekend, they might be able to come hang out too.
We will actually be out on a 2-week trip, and we will actually be back home on the 9th or the 10th. And if we're not too tired, we do plan on coming down for that.
You can just swing south and then circle back to the house.
Yeah.
There you go. It'd be all right. You take a couple days off and just sit at the Cathouse and hang out with Charlie and Jeff. You don't even have to ride because they're going to go do 2 weeks in the Smoky Mountains, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're going to Maggie Valley and then down to New Bern.
But, I mean, kind of the point of this video is talking about the Spring Fling and talking about Eureka Springs and the Rumble Rally and stuff. So you talk about you doing this for the kids and everything, Charlie. So you sell T-shirts. There's a bike show. There's a stunt show. What all else do you got on the agenda for this event?
We've got some good bands, but to me, guys, I've lived in Southwest Missouri, Northwest Arkansas my whole life. And, our biggest kept secret is the pig trail and the riding. And that's why it is very important to me to get these guys out, these flatlanders, and show them some countryside. I'm doing a guided ride on Sunday. I've got Pig Trail Hog Organization doing some rides for these. I've shared within the group the Ride the Ozarks where they can go in and get a free map sent to them. The party's great, the rally's great, but we all know that, man, our golden ticket are these Arkansas hills and these Boston mountains, and we need to get them out, let them see that so they can go back home and tell their friends what a wonderful time they had with the hillbillies down in Arkansas.
Yeah,
that is important.
I think like the Randall got to go on we did a pre-ride last weekend when we were there of this International Female Ride Day that we're going to do out of the Switchback with Ray and Firecracker and stuff. So we rode that route. We took Randall on and he just loved the route. He loved what we picked to go do. We're going to go across, come down into 62 from Switchback and go over and come down to War Eagle Mill and back up to the Cathouse and all of that. But I think, for me, I live in southern central Missouri. So I'm used to Highway 19, scenic riverways, and some great roads and stuff. Not quite as much elevation change as we get when we get down to the Boston Mountains, but it's still beautiful riding and everything. But when I started going to Eureka, I was exploring on my own. And I think like the guided rides and things like that are a great way. It took me 2 or 3 years to figure out where the Golden Gate Bridge in Arkansas was, or where the Arkansas Dragon was. And I think the idea of guided rides and having a ride that goes this way, maybe a guided ride going another way for people that did it the year before and stuff, is a great way to introduce people to the scenic things that we have to offer here in the Ozarks. So I compliment you for putting that out there. I think that's going to be a great way to get people introduced to what we have to offer.
I like the Kingston, Jasper 7 area. That's Newton County is my favorite parts of the pig trail personally. That's right. I like. Well, go down to Kingston at the little mom and pop store. They got the best bologna and cheese sandwich you ever had in your life. You know, with the Arkansas tomatoes.
First time I was on Scenic 7 was in the back seat of a little car that my mom and dad owned, because they got married in Hot Springs, so they'd go down there for the anniversary. And I was like 14 years old. My dad was road racing some guy on Scenic 7.
Right. I mean, guys, as like everybody said, what they're bringing to the table. I mean, what I'm bringing is the membership that I had. And last year when I had the rally, I had 170,000. Now I have 254,000, and it grows every day. And Jeff was right. The reason I have the members that I have is because I don't tolerate the bullshit. You're either here to help or be quiet, because I don't put up with the ass clowns. Let's just put it, that's what dipshits, whatever. I'm a very serious minded person, and that I run that group the same way I run my life, and if you're not here to help, I don't need you here. And, these young guys that are working on their bikes and customizing their bikes, they're the ones spending money. And if you think I'm going to sit back and let a bunch of dipshits that's not spending money run them off, no, I'm some dumb, not plumb dumb. That's what it's, that's just it, man. We all learn somewhere. What they don't realize is that person on the other end of the computer screen could be the guy picking up your trash on Friday, or the lawyer defending you in court, or the EMT saving your kid's life on the side of the road. You don't know who that person is, so don't treat them with disrespect, and that's just how that group's run. That's probably why I have the membership that I do. And it's blown up like it has. There's groups that's been around 12 years that's got 60,000 members. I've been around 4 years. Since December 2018, I got over 250,000. Well, there's a reason for that.
Well, and like you said before, there are no stupid questions. How do you learn if you don't ask? And the last thing you need is a smart ass comment from somebody that may or may not know himself anyway. We all had to learn at some point in time.
Exactly.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Right. I don't even argue with them. I just get shed of them and carry on, and that, like I said, that's why the group is as successful as it is, and, and what's cool about this group, man, I've had people get broke down in different places in the United States, and you go on that group, say, hey man, I'm broke down, and you'll see 5 or 6 of them. Hey man, I'm here with a trailer. What do you need? That to me is cool. That's brotherhood. That's old school.
Randall, are you taking notes? Harley Davidson Flea Market.
It's better than AAA, man. It's better than AAA. Speaking of that, I got pro.
Well, and I'm not kidding about that though. In a way, I mean, Charlie and I talked a little bit at the bike show this last weekend. I'm a member of Freedom of Road Riders, which is an MRO in the state of Missouri. That means I got almost 2,000 brothers in the state of Missouri that if I put a post out, other locals are going to share it. I'm broke down somewhere, so I can call a president of another local in that area. They're going to call their members. Somebody's going to come get me. Somebody's going to help me. Somebody's going to, make sure I'm not getting run over by a truck or whatever, sitting on the side of the road for 6 hours waiting for help. And that's that brotherhood aspect and being part of an organization, whether it's a Facebook group or a motorcycle rights organization or whatever it is. It's something that is truly part of what brings us all together.
We have literally done that where, hang on, let me run home. Let me get my trailer, load it up. How far do you have to go? If it's within 60 miles, I'll just go ahead and drag it home for you. We have literally done that for people.
Right. And that's what you do,
That's what the community is all
we've
about.
been broke down out of state before.
Well, Lord knows we break down ourselves. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So that's because you ride shovel heads.
Hey, Evos do the same. That's my experience.
I just like to bust Bill's balls
Yeah.
every chance I get.
I was really taken back by I know I made a video about it, but just the second to the last time the missus and I were going down to Tampa for the Forgotten Angels, and that's a 600-mile ride, about the same as going to Eureka Springs for us. And and all I did was just make a live feed saying, hey, yada yada yada, just because I was thinking, well, I forgot to bring my pistol with me, and so if something happens to us, people might have an idea what might happen. But immediately my phone blows up, and I get phone calls and I get messages, and the next thing I know, it's just, you got that brotherhood aspect of it, where the guys down in Tampa drove 2 hours up to get us and another 2 hours back down to Tampa to bring us down there. But that's just what you do. I mean, it's the human thing to do, really.
We did that on the way to Sturgis one year. We were trailering the bikes up because our daughter lives up there in Grand Rapids and in Rapid City, excuse me. But we had both of our bikes on our trailer, and we were at a rest stop, and this biker comes up and says, hey, my buddy's stuck down here at the road on the side of the freeway, and he can't get any towing because during that time of year, it's impossible. There's too many bikes out there. And they said, can you help us? And I looked at my husband, Aaron, and I said, well, I can roll my bike off. You can drive the truck down with your bike on it, pick him up. And we did that. And we took them all the way up to the Harley dealership. And poor Aaron, as I'm riding behind him, there's a storm rolling in. Me and the other guy are riding. We picked up the family and the couple, and they were in the car with Aaron. And he goes, oh, she's going to be mad at me. He goes, it's raining. She is going to be so mad because I didn't put on my rain gear, but I didn't care. It was just the right thing to do. And that Harley dealership up in Sioux City took care of them and put them up in a hotel, made sure that they were just taken care of. But that's what, you just don't leave somebody laid alongside the road. You don't know what their situation is. And yeah, we've done that. That's just what you do. And you're right, Corey, that's the right thing to do. We don't leave our riders behind. And that's why we all get together and do things like what Charlie's doing for the kids too. We don't leave the kids behind either.
Another thing I'd like for y'all to be aware of is our veterans. In the Harley Davidson flea market, every day is Veterans Day. We respect our vets. I do plug runs, what we call a plug run. It's basically a bike raffle I've given away. This is my 15th bike. And at the Ozark Mountain Rumble Rally, we will be President Gibbs will be pulling in his what we call the plug jug and be pulling us a plug out. A plug has a number, and one of our members is going to walk away with a 1990 very sought after, very collectible Gray Ghost Fat Boy. I don't know if you guys know what those are. They're very sought after bike. We have a Gray Ghost that's going to be given away at the Ozark Mountain Rumble Rally on Saturday. We'll go live in the group. If the person's there that want it, we give it to them right there. If not, we go live and call them at home and give them the information if they just want a motorcycle.
Very, very cool.
Very cool.
During those,
I'm gonna do my best live.
Now, during these plug runs, we have a lot of members that'll purchase a plug. And they also say, Charlie, I want to purchase a plug for a vet. You choose. Or I want to purchase a plug for a CB. Or I want a active duty Navy or Marine. And I do their wishes. I go in the group and I'll have a little contest. Or I'll say the first 7 that comments or the 7th one that comments gets the plug and a free shot at the plug run bike. And so far we've had 3 veterans win motorcycles, from shovel heads to pan heads. I've a Sturgis model. I've given away 3 of the 2006 anniversary Dynas. I know you're familiar with those. I don't charge a membership. That's the way that I raise money. I had a little issue with my schools here where I'll make a long story short, they were doing some lunch shaming where if they were behind, they were making them eat sack lunches. It pissed me off. First plug run I did, it was actually one of my show bikes. I went in and did a plug run. I walked into school on a Tuesday. When them kids came to school on Wednesday, there wasn't a kid from kindergarten to 12th grade that had a late lunch balance. I left a balance there. and told them when that runs out, let me know that I didn't want to see any more kids having to eat a sack lunch.
Very, very cool.
That's kind of where the plug run began. I mean, and it come to me to share. I couldn't afford to go pay $7,000 out of my pocket, but I'm sitting here with 5 or 6 show bikes down there. I can't ride them all. So I raffled it, raised the money, paid for the bike, and did that, and that's kind of where it all started,
So
I have
Charlie,
members give me I have members give me wheelchairs sometimes, all terrain or power wheelchairs, and I pay for the shipping to ship them to a vet. We also bought a local boy. I seen him at a ball game, and he had the power chair with the wheels. Well, he was getting stuck in the ruts. When 36 hours, I raised $12,000, and we bought him one of the all-terrain tank chairs. I've got videos of him going up the trails in Ponca and out at the Roaring River, climbing mountains, being able to go fishing and get to places that he would have never been able to get to before. And that's just a few instances of some of the stuff that we do. And when I say we, man, it's not me. We are a group of 254,000 members. I'm just the custodian.
well,
It's this group is responsible for what we do,
well, Charlie, I'm now one of your 254,000 members, and I thank you for letting somebody like me in the group, having the tolerance. But and what you're doing is great. But I also think it's okay for people to know who you are and what you do. So maybe tell them a little bit more about you and not your philanthropy, but you have a speed shop in Galena.
Yeah, I've got a 25-acre mountaintop out here on the James River. And man, they call me the parts pimp. I have hundreds of parts. I collect parts, and I have a mentor. His name is Myron Meeks. He's in his 60s. And man, I love him to death, but he's an asshole. He'll let me take stuff apart, put it back together, and have one of the little pieces in his pocket. He forgot this. That's how he's taught me. I say, hey, will this fit? Well, that depends on how bad you want it on there. It's a love-hate relationship between me and him, but I love him to death. I've taken parts, and what's cool about my show bikes, and I've got the Popcorn Sutton bike. I thought you saw it, the Steampunk bike. I've got David Mann tribute bike, the Legend bike, which has the last 2 battle belts from Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, won the show. These bikes are built out of spare parts that I've drug in here, with a bare frame. And and a lot of these parts, you can come up and touch a part on one of those motorcycles, and I can tell you where that part come from, who the fallen brother was, whether it's Sam in Cotter, Arkansas, or Euless Youngblood in Harrison. I can tell you where each part, that bike has a story. A lot of time I deal with widows because I've been friends with their husbands, and when they pass, they say, you go get a hold of Charlie. And I go in, I don't ask no questions. Just like when Euless passed, I said, Lori, what do you need? Well, I need $25,000. I got all these specialty tools. I said, well, honey, I don't need a specialty tools. What do you value them at? $12,000. I said, well, I'll just give you 15 for all the parts. I bought all the parts, no questions asked. I didn't even look at them, load them up. It is what it is. I get them home and I deal with it, but I take those parts and build my dreams with Myron Health and Noel, my airbrush shit. When he's not painting motorcycles for me, he's doing Truex helmets, Earnhardt helmets. He has art in the White House. He has art in the 911 museum, off access paint. I mean, he's just an awesome, he puts the lipstick on them, but these bikes are, by selling parts, I make parts. It's not about the money to me to finish my dreams. And in the process, I may be sending that last part to finish someone else's dream. And I deal in the parts that are what Harley considers obsolete. The swing arms from 98 that break, you know what I mean, that nobody can find. I've collected them for years, man. And it's shit that nobody wanted. Well, guess what? Everybody needs them now. And that's what I specialize in, is the parts that you can't find.
Like
And that's what
like that shit for the
in mind,
FFDX.
I have to keep you in
That's
mind
why
because I've got a 98 that hasn't broken yet.
that's why they
Hey,
call
you
me
know where
the
to get
part.
one now.
So
That, and I don't have every part. I've got shit that I don't know I have. I got part outbuilding so many parts. I've got parts to look at. I've got a load of 12 shovel head motors, frames, probably 20 shovelhead bikes in Iowa to go get. I drag it in here, man. You know, like I got a shirt that says just one more bike part. That's my hobby, you know. And me and Myron, you know, I build what I dig, and it just so happened that other people dig it too. It's kind of like singing in the shower, though. It's not what they get out of it; it's what you get out of it. If that makes any sense to you.
It does, and kind of to go back and touch on this and go back to Spring Fling. So, you got to talk to Bill, Witchcraft Cycle Works, a little bit there at La Familia. I was there and stuff. So let's kind of roll back to Spring Fling. So, and let everybody highlight maybe what they enjoyed most about Spring Fling or about Eureka Springs and stuff. So I got to meet Charlie for the first time. Bill, I'm going to ask you to tell us what was your favorite part of Spring Fling, and I expect it's going to have to do with the trophy, because if not, I'm going to call you a liar.
Well, that was a nice part of it, but you know, I was rather surprised because I was actually talking with Saddle Tramp there in front of my bike and discussing things, and he just says, "Well, what did you win?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, there's a trophy down there by your tire." I didn't expect that. I just kind of put the bike in there to show off because I like to show off, but it's not a show bike. But I was rather honored to win first place.
I think the best bikes are usually the ones that are in the parking lot rather than on the stage.
Yeah.
You can go to any chopper rally, and the coolest ones are out there parked with the ones that just showed up than the ones that are actually in the show. To me, that is, you know.
Well, right. One thing I can say is my bikes may not be show bikes, but by God, I've got blood, sweat, and tears into them. And, you know, I didn't just write a check to have somebody else, you know, build it for me.
Right on.
Amen.
That's a matter of pride for me.
Blood, sweat, tears, and miles.
So let your other half tell us what her favorite part of Spring Fling was.
Do what?
What was your favorite part of Spring Fling, Ray Ray?
Oh, sorry, Bill's phone went off. He had to answer it. I don't know, just actually everything. Being able to meet people, meeting all of you. Of course, I knew you, Mike and Jay, but the rest of you, we just met last weekend. We had a lot of fun with everyone. We enjoyed the bike show. Just everything.
So I'm going to throw a shout out here for Ray Ray and Firecracker, who's not in the chat. They're going to be on my channel Tuesday night. If you guys are familiar with the Eureka Springs area, there's a bar down there called Switchback, and they are hosting an International Female Ride Day event next weekend, and we'll be back down there for that. But Ray Ray and Firecracker and another friend of ours, Mermaid, Riding with the Mermaid, are going to lead a ride out of the Switchback and stuff. So we rode that a little bit this weekend while we were there and stuff. But, you know, Ray Ray's doesn't talk about it much, but she has some things that she's had to overcome riding motorcycles and things and stuff. And that's part of what makes her an inspiration to the female riding community and stuff.
Oh, well, thank you.
But she is. And so, yeah, if you want to know more about that, tune in Tuesday night on my channel. We'll be talking about that. But Busted, what was your favorite thing about Spring Fling?
Just hanging out with everybody, not just you all at the house, but I mean, meeting people from all over the country really pretty well. I mean, Randall came down from where again?
Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
How many miles
to get there?
Just right around 1,200 miles.
And he loved it so much he left his bike there, so he have to come back.
You're asking for favorite parts. You know, my least favorite part was coming back in a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
So okay, Randall.
Hey, but you weren't cold.
So what was your favorite part?
Good.
Till the up till the time the bike stopped.
So I'm simple, you know, and I love to play music and sitting around and just playing for some good folks there in the house. I love just playing music for folks. But there was a moment when I was playing was a Willie Nelson song, right? And there was a young lady there, and it just like brought her to tears. She had an emotional response.
Oh, that was Jay's wife.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to call her out.
Corey will.
But you know, as a musician, whenever you're playing music, you're just trying to elicit an emotional response from your listener. And you know, I know it was Willie Nelson, you know, so it wasn't me, it was Willie. I just did a performance, but to be there for that special moment, that was probably just about perfect. In my eyes as a musician, that's just about the peak.
You
The
know,
riding was great, the poker run was wonderful. The breakdown was awful, but that moment right there, I think that's going to be Eureka Springs to me.
you know, I was gonna say, if somebody asked me, was that moment in that little dining room with you singing and playing, we're all enjoying one another's company, and of course you played that song you're talking about, Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground, one of my favorite Willie Nelson tune. But when you played that tune that you wrote when you was 15, Mountain Bob, and everybody was just digging it. I mean, that was like the pinnacle of the whole thing.
I missed that one.
I mean, I was like, that was like a moment you didn't want to go away right there. It's the equivalent of say like a camp out and everybody's around the campfire. The best moment is the campfire, and you just you're sitting and talking, or whether there's a guitar or not. I mean, if the guitar is a good thing, especially when there's a saxophone involved. You know what I mean, right?
I know exactly.
So, but yeah, I mean that it's the connection with people and enjoying each other's company on, especially when you see each other over and over again. You're living in the same place. That's just that's my that I don't know. Words can't do it justice, but that made it right there for me.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could bottle up that emotion and just hand it out, I mean, everybody had a good time that was in the house. Nobody more than me. I guarantee that. Yeah. But if we could bottle up that energy and just hand it out to people, I think the world would be such a good place, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was awesome.
So you will forever be Mountain Bob. You will forever be Mountain Bob, Randall.
All right. Road Rush, I want you to go next, and then we're going to ask Jay. And then we'll let Charlie tell us what his favorite part of the weekend was. And I want to see if we have a consensus here.
Well, of course, meeting everybody and the time in the house was great. But I have to say, going out and just meeting all the people that I didn't know at like the Cathouse, and people coming up and talking to us, but going out and riding with Busted Knuckle and Jeremy, that he had never been out in that area riding the pig trail. And Aaron and I, we took off and went riding with him and had a great time, except I think Jeremy tried to kill me because he had me going 85 down the pig trail trying to catch his butt. Yeah, he's a little bit of a speed freak.
Hey, ride your own ride.
It was great. I had no problem with it. I was throttling and my bike was doing just fine. And then I looked down and go, oh, I'm doing 85. Okay, this is cool. We'll keep going. But it was just the camaraderie and just having a great time with everybody and talking to people you didn't know, going down to see Adam off to start the 120th for the Wounded Warrior. That's kind of near and dear because my son is a disabled vet. My husband did 30 years. My daughter, you can see their pictures back here. My daughter just retired from the Air Force after 20 years. So, and Jeremy might have something, 20 years. Was it 20 or 13?
I did 13.
13 years. So yeah, now you can see why we hung out with him, But
I thought
it was
great. Better looking than me.
Well, I didn't want Firecracker to get mad,
It's all good. It's all good. I know where I stand. So Jay, what was your part? What was your favorite part?
Randall, I got to lead with this, man. My wife told me that you are not allowed to die before her, so that you can play that song at her funeral. And watching the emotion on her face when you played that song was touching to me as well. But I can sum up Spring Fling with fellowship. The fellowship that I got to enjoy with everybody on this screen and everybody that stayed in the house, everybody we got to meet at the Cathouse and at Switchback and Pig Trail, and everybody, the fellowship of just everybody loved to be on two wheels, loved to be out there riding. It was cold. Folks fought the rain to get there. and we still had a great time. We still had an amazing time. It was a little cool, but it didn't cool our hearts off, man. We still had a great time. And getting to ride back, back to Little Rock, get to follow Saddle Tramp for a little while and just have somebody on the road, even though we can't communicate while we're riding. We didn't have comms or anything, but just to have somebody ahead of you, or just to have somebody in your rear view, it was great. I love that feeling of just camaraderie and fellowship with everybody that loves two wheels. And even the folks in the side chat, when I'm not on this end of the screen, just hanging out in the side chat with everybody that's over there talking trash, listening to the thing. But to be face to face with so many people that,
I think that's what I love most about motorcycles, because it brings so many different kinds of people together.
I love motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's other hobbies out there that people enjoy, and I've had a few, but the hobby and the lifestyle of just being out there on a bike, regardless of what you ride, is always amazing to me on the inside. And I may not let it out, I may not say it, but just the pure joy of everybody being together and on the same page about wanting to ride. Hey, I include the trikes. I include the reverse trikes, man. If you got a pair of handlebars and you got to sling your leg over the top of it, I'm in,
Right.
That's
a slingshot's not a motorcycle.
It's got a steering wheel. It's not a bike. I don't care what the insurance company says. I do not care what the insurance company says. It's got a steering wheel and you sit side by side, not a motorcycle.
And you get seat belts.
Yeah, seatbelts, automatic disqualifier.
All right, so Charlie's the new guy to the group here. Charlie, do you hear a common theme in here? And what everybody loved about that?
Camaraderie, man. Brotherhood.
People.
Right.
So, I've been to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and JP Cycles has the big trailer out there, and that's all cool when you want to get new bars and new seat, or go to Sturgis and hang out with Brian Clock and get a new windshield and get your saddle reupholstered and get a gel seat or whatever else. There are places and there are rallies for that, but Spring Fling is not that rally. Spring Fling is about people and about riding,
Right.
And those are those connections that you can't buy. You can't order them over the internet. I can order that seat. I can order them bars. I can order that shit and have it shipped to my house. I can't order what this rally offers. And Ozark Rumble Rally is going to be the same way. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of thing. It's that kind of atmosphere. It's going to be coming, meeting people. That's why people go back to Sturgis. They don't go back to Sturgis because JP Cycles is going to be there. They go back to Sturgis because they met some guy there 20 years ago. And every year they go and they camp beside that same guy, and they visit with him. And it's that one time a year they get to go hang out with them, and they built this relationship. And it's about people. And that's still in our community what a lot of this is about. And for anybody who might be listening to this tonight live or down the road or whatever else, if you don't know what we're talking about, I challenge you to get on a motorcycle, just go to an event, a rally, make a friend, start doing shit, because people will accept you. People will welcome you in if you're not a asshat, and be a part of the community, be a part of the lifestyle, because it don't get no better.
Buy the damn bike.
Yes.
Right. I'll have to say this, I've told this story to several people, but it's like you mentioned in Sturgis made me think of this, and people. I think the best thing about when I went to Sturgis was the people I met, because this was before social media. Because this is back in 2006, before social media was a real thing. Within 1,000 miles of the destination, I'm seeing the same faces at the gas stations, and then you end up making acquaintances until you part ways. And to me, that was the most beautiful thing about that trip, because when I got to Sturgis, this is, by the way, this isn't about Sturgis, but I'm just saying, when I got there, now I'm like, now what,
See, now I wasn't at the gas stations long enough to make friends on my way to Sturgis, because I got gas and was gone.
Oh, really?
And I was running about 90 across I-90.
Oh.
I mistook the speed limit sign for the.
Oh, that's funny.
The marker sign.
But anyway,
is that your excuse? Please, I've ridden with you. You don't need a sign.
Or you was on Highway 23. Why was you doing 85?
Yeah,
Exactly. Thank you very much.
I don't think we ever made it to 85, unless it was
I sure the
straight.
hell did. I sure the hell did.
You were trying to catch up, and I was slowing down, waiting on you.
Oh, so you were doing over 85 then?
But like Corey said, and like we've all said, it's the relationships. Whether you meet them at the gas station as you're on the journey, or you meet somebody and you go ride there, you camp next to somebody else, and somebody said preach in there, and I don't mean to be getting on a soapbox and preach, but I do want people who maybe in the chat or who see this later, if you've never done something like this, Randall got on a freaking motorcycle and rode 1,200 miles with a guitar strapped on the back of it to come hang out with a couple of us. His bike broke down. You don't see him on here bitching and complaining about what a pain in the ass it is or anything else. He's like, we had a great time. You're going to have a few punches. You're going to take a black eye here and there, whether it's a bike breaking down.
But it's not a black eye, man. I get the opportunity to come back. I left my bike there, so I had a reason other than y'all to come back.
but that's the right attitude. But it's an adventure. I've got a daughter who's 19. She talks about adventure, but every time she gets a chance to go on one, there's some reason not to. And I'm just saying, you only got one life to live. You can choose to live life, or you can choose to watch it go by. And I hope all of you, especially those of you that have a love with two wheels, get on it. There's a community out there for you. Not there. I hear horror stories about people saying they get, razzed by street glide guys because they're riding a Sportster or this and that. And I tell you, everybody that rides with me, I don't care what you ride. I care how you ride. As long as you are not a detriment and a danger to those I'm riding with, then you're welcome to join.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you shit of some kind, no matter what you ride. Even if you got the exact same bike as me, I'm going to give you shit, but it doesn't mean nothing.
We're just weeding out. We're weeding out the weak.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But I'll say this though, when somebody walks up and shakes your hand or gives you a hug, they mean it.
Right.
It's genuine.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with Sportsters. The owners might be a little sensitive, but the bikes are fine.
That's right. Yeah. Bill talks about a hug. He still shies away when I give him a hug, but I do it anyway because I know he deep down inside he likes it.
I'll say Sportster is a tough bike because
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Sportster is a real tough guy's bike because ride that thing from coast to coast and not say "ow." Okay, because I said this before, and I don't really mean it. It's just my response to the goofball who says a Sportster is a girl's bike. Well, so you would rather have a big bike with a cushy seat and a fairing, air ride shocks, and whatever else, something that your missus might be comfortable riding on. Okay. And to go across country. Okay. So which one is the girl's bike? I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be too comfortable riding on a Sportster all the way to California back, so the bagger must be the girl's bike. And now the Sportster is a tough guy's bike.
But I always tell my Sportster guys, I say, yeah, them guys that's giving you shit, they're the ones watching YouTube to change the light bulb on their street glide.
Hey, I made a lot of money off that video. I resent that.
I like Doc Harley's comment there.
And like you say in your group, though, I mean, the video for how to change your headlight on your street glide, for somebody needs that. Somebody does. And
hey, right here, dude. Right here. I YouTube all the time. I'm just flipping shit, man. YouTube's a great thing, man.
Well, that's what I say. I do some install videos. I can't believe, I'm a big fan. As an MRO, we preach every year about T-clocks throughout our organization and this and that, trying to protect each other. We do yearly seminars on motorcycle accident scene safety and shit like that. And so, I'm like, it's March and I haven't done a T-clock video. I should do a T-clock video, but I didn't call it T-clocks. But I did a video and I just said motorcycle maintenance everybody who owns a motorcycle should do. And I ran down through the MRF, checklist on pre-bike inspection stuff and said, if you know this, great. If you don't, if you maybe watch it, and if you think somebody else can, get something out of it, then share it. And if you don't know it, then watch this video. We run through the checklist, and I have people from different parts of the world email me and say, hey, can you send me that checklist? Thank you for that video. It's done 40 or 50,000 views this month. And it's something that I feel like I would take for granted, but I know from my friends, when I say T-clocks, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm like, somebody out there don't know. So I'm going to make a video on it. And I had no idea it would take off like this, but there is, the people are at all different levels, and don't pick on them for it. Embrace them, help them move to the next level, share that knowledge, share that experience. And, I didn't get real technical on it. I just said, there's this thing called T-clocks, and you check your tires and wheels, you check your controls, you check your lights, you check your stands, all this shit, and just kind of run down through the list and say all the things you should be looking at every year at a minimum. And people loved it. And I'm blessed to be able to share that with people.
Well, if it's dripping oil, it's still got oil, so you're good.
Right. Marking your
Isn't that
territory.
You're not wrong.
Can't drip oil if it doesn't have any.
Bill never worries till the shovel head's dry.
But Mike, you're right. There's riders of all different levels, and we should be the ones mentoring those. And we've got all different levels just in this group here. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're here is to help people learn. It can be the smallest thing that you can show somebody how to do, because they're all looking for that. I've got a few videos that I've done for installs on like lights and different things, and people are like, "Oh, this was really handy," or it's different levels. That's what we're here for.
This one here has persuaded so many women to take the plunge to go from riding passenger to riding her own. Ray is a big proponent of getting women to ride their own because she can relate to them on their level and encourage them.
Well, try being my age and sharing with women, who say that they can't. I have a street glide for those that don't know. And they sit there and they go, "Oh, I can't do this. The bike's too heavy, or it's this, or it's that." And I'm going, "Do you know how freaking old I am? I'm grandma." My grandson sits there and laughs when, I come rolling up and he goes, "Oh, my grandmother's coming." And his buddies are going, "Huh?" And they go, "Can you hear the Harley coming? That's my grandmother." It's always pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah. And that's what other women have to encourage women, that you can do this. Yes. And that's the thing is they think it's intimidating. And it's been funny because I've watched men who they'll be at a dealership and go, "Oh, this bike's too heavy. I can't pick it up." And I like to just walk over and go, "Oh, this doesn't seem too bad," just to show them that they could do it if I could. It's not about being a smart ass. It's about showing it's up here that's defeating you, and not the bike. Don't let your own limitations do it. But
and Charlie's,
for me, you kind of nailed it, because a long time ago, I had someone tell me that there was a bike that was too heavy for me.
Yep.
And I hopped on the bike and I took off on it.
See,
and I come back, I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I did it."
Right on.
And
honestly,
the other part of me was like
never be the
encouraging
weight,
women.
it should be the height. The height
That's
would be
why,
the only thing to keep people off of the bike.
like riding in the Ozarks with a firecracker on 2 wheels, and then riding with the Mermaid. We're all going down there and doing this women's ride, that Saturday. And we are just really excited about it because we have all different levels that are going with us. I have women up here like, "Oh my gosh, I will never be able to ride like you." Don't say that. You can do it.
Yep.
I mean,
well, I weigh 225 pounds. So make sure that one of those ladies is ready to hold up 225 pounds if I'm riding in the back seat.
You're going to be the fender fluff.
Yeah.
Fender candy.
Hey, I'll get a hat made that says Fender Bunny if you'll ride back there behind one of the ladies.
Wait, are you going to make him turn around though when he rides behind you?
No, I'm just going to make him flip the hat backwards when he rides behind them.
Oh, them, not you. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, just checking. We got none of this. No. He's got to flip around. But I mean, and Charlie is the flea market thing's big into the old school bikes, and I've got a '94 Dyna Lowrider that I've got to restore. Firecracker has a 2000 FXDX that I'm buying from her because she's into the sport glide. She loves it. It fits her, and she's not going to ride the DX, and she needed the money. So I didn't want to let that carbureted bike go. The old carbureted twin cams with the cam in them that lope and shit are just cool, and I'm gonna keep that bike and do something cool with it and stuff. So
Chop it, chop it.
her. I'm not letting you cut the neck on it. I want to make a canyon carver on it, but if we can find a cheap Sportster, we can chop that all day long.
There ain't nothing cheap no more.
Well,
No kidding.
Cheap's now become a relative term.
I'm cheap.
But I'm thankful for groups like Charlie's group where I can get on there and look for old parts or find old stuff. Old Evo stock parts, old twin cam stock parts are hard to find. I called Harley about something for a 2000 Dyna, and they're like, it's discontinued. So we need people like Charlie who are providing the network where people can find parts and keep these old bikes alive, where we can keep this thing that we all love, this community, afloat and support each other and help each other. And I mean, I've got a little shop, it's not open to the public. I don't do work on other people's bikes. Bill does that. Just kidding. I'm just fucking with him. But I mean, like my friends will bring their bikes over and we'll do oil changes and we'll put speakers on their bike and we'll spend a whole afternoon working on 3 or 4 bikes together. And we're going to do that this Sunday. And that is such a good time for 4 or 5 of us to all sit around the shop, have a cold beer, work on her bike, work on his bike, work on this, work on that, and get everybody ready to go for the season or whatever else. Somebody else talk, because if it's silent, I'm going to keep talking.
Well,
I see busted knuckles. We haven't heard much from you.
I've been letting everybody else talk. That's the reason I put this together. I don't do a whole lot of talking. I am not like Professional Monkey. Love the guy to death, but I can't talk to the side chat. For one, I don't have enough people in there. There's 30 tonight. That's the most I've ever had. So thank you all for being there.
It's your show, man.
But we're breaking you in. You're gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah, and it was your idea to do this too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I got the idea because I decided to do a Stepford American recap because I was talking about it whenever I was down there with the riding fish and I think Windroad, and they said, "Oh yeah, if you want to do that, just invite us." Okay, and I was like, "Yes, I have to now." So I decided to do it for this event, and I'll probably do it for the rest of the ones that I go to this year.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, lives are a great way to build a relationship with the people that are in the live, but with your audience, let them ask questions, let them be a part of this and stuff. And I want to say thank you for putting this together. It wasn't my idea. It was your idea.
Oh, thank you. I like I said, I like talking to you guys. I mean, or else I wouldn't have stayed at the house with you. So I had met Mike and I'd met Jay before.
K River, baby. K River.
Yep. I had not met anybody else here, but I'd watched a few Saddle Tramps videos. I had caught Bill and Ray on a Riding in the Ozarks live. I hadn't heard of Randall or Road Rush, and now we spent 2 solid days together, didn't we, Terry?
Yep.
Well,
I did. It was great.
And I want to say, I mean, I try, Jeff kind of like says, hey, get some people together to come to the house and stuff. And Jeff puts that on. That's not me. Jeff does all the hard work and everything else. I just say, hey, do you need a place to stay? And try and give him a list of people that are going to be there and stuff. But I can't entertain everybody. I can't babysit everybody or whatever else. And I trust everybody to be adults. But like, I didn't have to worry. Some of us went out and did our thing. You guys hooked up, went and did your thing. And that was great because I knew you had somebody to do something with. You had somebody, you weren't alone. You weren't lost out here or whatever. You had somebody to do something with, somebody to bond with, and everybody had a good time. And for me, that's what, like the creator house that Jeff put together, that's what it's about, is letting people find their people, find their thing, not everybody's the same niche or whatever else. And that's not a knock against anybody. It's just life, but you found your people, you found somebody you could do something with, you had a great time. And that is the thing that I love about these kinds of events.
Hey, the instant I got left alone, I put my butt in that glider chair and passed out for like 4 hours. I just sat down, just kicked my feet up for a second. And the next thing I know, it was like 4 hours later, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, me and
Welcome to
Terry and
old
Aaron
age.
just walked in the house, and he must have just woke up when we came through the door.
Yep.
Well,
I think I heard the pipes and it startled me.
Charlie's been kind of quiet here. So, Charlie, you said you're going to do a guided ride at the Ozark Rumble, right?
Yeah, Sunday I'll be doing a guided ride. Yes.
Sunday. How long a ride? And how long is it going to take me to get home to Rolla from there?
I usually leave around 10 o'clock and hit back in town about 4:35, somewhere in there. So it's a pretty good ride.
Yeah, I'll have to call in sick Monday if we stay for Sunday. But I can feel the Taco Bell coming on.
You're a state worker. Yeah, you can call in sick.
Well, the thing about it is
mental state.
When you have, the members that I have, I don't know where they're from, what they're used to riding. I have to take it. A normal ride that I would do in a shorter period of time takes a little bit longer when you're doing such a guided ride like that, for safety reasons.
I understand. We're doing the same thing with the International Female Ride. I expect every time we do a big ride with 15 or more people for it to take twice as long as I would do it by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and people in flatland areas are easily overwhelmed when they get to southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and it can be dangerous if you're not used to it. You don't want to go.
Hey, who you call a flatlander, Bill?
I call them the way I see them.
Hey, I don't have hills like that in my area, and it's a challenge if you're not used to it. I mean, it wasn't impossible, but you definitely didn't have time to daydream. You know what I mean? Now, if you live in that neck of the woods, you can. Some people maybe do that stuff with their eyes closed. I don't know.
They don't last long if they do it with their eyes closed. So I'm just going to tell you, and I mean, I take it for granted until I go ride somewhere else because I grew up here. I've lived here most of my life. I lived in Memphis for a few years and stuff, but I take riding in the Ozarks for granted until I go to Kansas. And then I'm like, holy shit, how do you do this? I mean, why do you do this? And so, it's a different aspect of stuff. But I mean, I tell people all the time, and I guess it's because I live in the Ozarks, but I tell them, like, if you're going to ride a motorcycle, you can't have that fight with the girlfriend on your mind, or you can't have that bad day at work on your mind. If you get on a motorcycle in the Ozarks and you go out and you plan to go out and do 100, 150 miles, you better have a clear head because something will jump up and bite you because there is something around you every turn. You can't go 1 mile and not hit a turn in the Ozarks unless you're on the interstate. And that's only in rare occasions, even then.
Right.
Go to Jasper, shoot over to, Mount Judah.
Yeah.
And ride that up to Sam's Throne. Even the sport bikers are in second gear.
And that was part of the.
Well, second gear on a sport bike's 100 mile an hour. So
up through
that's
Blanca and the Arkansas Grand Canyon. Man, that's a beautiful ride, but you're there's a couple of those turns that you end up seeing your own license plate. So
wow. I mean,
I definitely want to go back. I didn't get to ride the Arkansas Dragon like I wanted to. We looked at it, but we were going to be taking off after Adam left Pig Trail Harley. And it was 2.5 hours or 2 hours to get there, an hour to ride the road down and back, and then 2 hours back towards Eureka Springs. I went, it'd be 7 o'clock by the time we got back into town tonight.
We have only done just like a small part of it, but we want to go back and do the whole thing.
Yeah, the best way to do it is to get in on the south side there at Clarksville. And then cruise through there all the way up to the top, and then you can hang a left and go around the Arkansas Grand Canyon and back to Harrison and come up and around if you want, or you can cut across and take the top half of the Pig Trail.
The other one I recommend is ride to the top of Mount Nebo. 18% grade with 10-mile-an-hour curves, like you say. You'll see your own license plate coming around them curves.
Yep.
Nice.
It might only be 2 miles to the top, but it is crooked.
I was,
And then you got to come back down.
It's like a little more curvier. And when we did that one, I had my Road King. And I have to say, I am very proud of myself. I am really proud of myself because, there was some tight curves, going up. And there's one way in and one way out.
So, Charlie, I'm a little self-promotion maybe thing here, not trying to be, but your thing's the 10th. If I can find a Tuesday night before the 10th to have you on a live stream on my channel, would you be interested in hanging out and doing a short live stream or a long live stream and telling everybody all about the event and help promoting it again?
I think he's frozen.
Well,
looks frozen to me.
I'm just going to take that non-answer as a personal, injury, but that's okay.
I'm kind of curious. At what point do you do a short live stream?
When it's under 2 hours, that's short.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what's the definition of short?
I was going to say, I haven't done a short one.
Hey, let's not get into lengths. It's not the size of the live stream. It's the quality of the live stream that matters.
Oh, how wide your fan base is.
On that too, so.
Yeah.
He promised Firecracker on 2 wheels that he was going to be doing a short live stream, and I think it ended up being 2.5 hours.
That's pretty short. My first live stream is with the channel called Military Biker, and for those of you that do YouTube, you know who Stevie is. My very first one, I was less than 500 subscribers. I got drunk on his channel, left my phone on the desk, went to bed. She was calling me the next morning trying to find me because I didn't show up where I was supposed to be. She stormed into the house to make sure I was alive and madder than hell. And just like, I'm not sure it was a good thing that I'm still alive, but I'm still here. But I mean, she was mad and I didn't know where my phone was. I got drunk. We stayed up till 3:00 in the morning live streaming. And so so anything less than that is a short live stream.
Charlie, I don't know what's going on with you. It says you're down here twice.
Well, he's only once on my screen, but I've got
Can
his
you hear me
cell
now?
phone number. We can hear you.
We can't
Yeah, we
see
can
you.
hear you.
We can't see you. And if you're doing something you shouldn't be, just keep that little piece of paper over the screen. So, Charlie, if you can hear me, my question before you froze up was, if you have the time before your rally, how would you feel about coming on my channel and doing a live stream talking about the Ozark Rumble Rally and helping share the information about what all you're going to be doing down there on a Tuesday night?
Charlie?
I'll have to reach out to him.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
I think there's
Okay, I'm having some issues.
He said, yeah.
I'll get hold of you offline.
I want to just touch on a few things. Can you? First of all, the camaraderie and the brotherhood. That's what the Harley Davidson Flea Market's all about. The Ozark Mountain Rumble Rally in Eureka Springs is our meeting spot. Second of all, when you're talking about working in the shop, man, every time I'm working in my shop, I never forget. My grandfather was a World War II veteran, and the sacrifice of all the military veterans and people serving, it's because of them that we get to work in our shops, look at motorcycles and sip whiskey. You never forget that.
Right.
And the last thing, my Wicked Cycles guys is going to the Smokies. Cherokee, there's a place called Paul's, great place to eat. Take whiskey. You're on a Cherokee reservation. There is none. I learned that the hard way.
He's talking to you, Bill.
Ray is.
I've lost you guys. I don't know. I can see you. I don't know if you can see me. My volume's not working well.
We
I
can't
did
see
catch
you, but
you
we can
on
hear
your
you.
live YouTube on Tuesday. If you'll message me, I will get with you.
Right on. Thank you, Charlie.
All right. If you got any more questions for me before I sign off here?
No,
Is everybody good?
I'm good.
Been a pleasure.
It was nice
Charlie.
meeting all of you. I hope to see you all there.
All right.
I won't make that one because that's the same weekend as Hog Rock, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there'll be another. You know, it's like I said earlier, man, with this group, we can also use it to beef up the Spring Fling and the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, because not all our members are going to be able to make the Rumble Rally, but they might be able to make BBB, or they might be able to come early, you know, for Spring Fling. So, you know, let's utilize what we have here for all three rallies, or any rally that we're having for that matter. You know, that group, you know, I built it, but that group belongs to all its members. And if you're a member, that means it's belonged to you. And I welcome any of you guys to use that to promote anything you're doing for kids, rallies, vets, selling parts. You know, like I say, that group belongs to the members. I'm just the custodian, you know. That's what the group's there for, you know, finding parts, selling parts, promoting what you're doing, you know. And it's got a pretty good reach, and it's growing every day.
I really have high hopes for BBB this year. I know last year was kind of a off thing, and a lot of people they had complaints, but we didn't. We had a blast, and I think this year's going to be even better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were there, and last year was a growing pain for them. They had 2 years that were canceled, and a new city, and a lot of things to overcome. And I do a small rally. I do a rally that's going to be 1,000 to 1,500 people on Memorial Day weekend, and I know how hard we work just to pull that little thing off on a private campground. So I could not imagine the stuff that Tommy has to go through to pull BBB off when you're trying to work in conjunction with the city council and all those things, and different vendors, different cities, all those things and stuff. But I think they did overall a good job, and I think they're going to work to improve that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we kind of enjoyed, you know, a lot of people complained it was no longer where you had a downtown Main Street all lined up area, but we kind of liked the fact that it was kind of like in between Eureka Springs, you know, and Rogers, and we went back and forth several times, and we just had a blast. No complaints on our part.
So, Sal Tramp, I know you came up for Spring Fling, and we've talked, and I know vacation time's a struggle, but Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue will be kind of like, I don't want to refer to it as like a mini Sturgis, but there'll be 300,000 bikers in the northwest corner of Arkansas for a week. So it's kind of like a Sturgis. It's in the fact that it's spread out all across northwest Arkansas, and Eureka Springs and Rogers are kind of the hotbeds of it and stuff. But yeah, they have some vendors, like a few years ago, JP Cycles was there, and their whole trucks, and, you know, Fraying Exchange and all kinds of big guys were there and stuff. But it's got that commercial aspect of it if you're looking for that. But by the same token, if you don't go to the dealership, it's like Spring Fling with just a whole bunch more bikes in town.
Right. I've been hearing about that rally ever since I went up to Fayetteville in 06. I always wanted to make like you said, you mentioned again, you know, the whole vacation time. I doubt I'll make it this time around. We'll see what happens, but definitely put it on the bucket list for 2024, because you have a lot more vacation than normal. Or unless I pull a rabbit out of the hat and make this more possible and do a 40-hour day.
Right. So
somebody's got an echo.
I think I don't know if it's Charlie. Can you mute Charlie and see if it goes away? Because we don't have no video from him.
That's what I'm.
We'll see if that kills the echo. But speaking of vacation and making more out of this, so, you know, I'm just going to call it like I see it. But Saddle Tramp's got more subscribers than anybody else on the panel right here, right now. He's, I think, been doing it longer than I have. He has a great channel. And if there's, somebody you want to support and help them go to the next level, if you aren't already watching Saddle Tramp, go subscribe to his channel, watch his videos. He will inspire you to work on your own shit. Go do things that you might be scared of doing because you might break down. I mean, you how old was that bike you brought to Spring Fling?
It's a 1998, so it'll be 25 years old this next time it gets registered.
So he brought a 25-year-old bike to Spring Fling. He rode through the weather, crossed the weather, around the weather, whatever he had to do to get there, from the Gulf Coast, and on a 25-year-old motorcycle. He works on it himself. He packs his own tool bag. You can do this. He can do this. You can learn it. It's like we say, and he talks about, he's not a rocket scientist. He's not a professional mechanic. He just learns what he needs to keep his stuff going. Randall, you came 1,200 miles, right?
Yeah, but Saddle Tramp fixed my bike too.
Until it broke again.
Well, yeah, but you came 1,200 miles, and you didn't worry about how far it was or how old your bike was. You just wanted to come have a good time. And my point is, if that, I might break down or I might get stranded or what happens is your hang up for going and doing that adventure.
You'll never go.
Just get over it. Move on. Just put it in the back of your mind and do it. Somebody will help you. Somebody will be there for you. Like you said, Saddle Tramp was there for you. We've tried to be there for you,
right.
Ever since. You will meet people who will help you take this adventure, but get off the couch, get out, buy the damn bike, go on the adventure, go to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, go to Forgotten Angels, go wherever it is that inspires you to go.
Actually, more like mine and Randall's case, not buy the darn bike, but fix the damn bike,
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Hey.
And if you can't find parts, you hook up with Charlie because somebody in the group's going to have them. Right, Charlie?
Right here, dude.
And I guarantee even if you're looking for something that's not Harley related, if you post in that group, somebody's going to say, hey, I know a group that'll have somebody in there that has that part. Say you got a Honda CB 450 need carburetor for. Hey, anybody know where I can find it? Yeah, look at this group. They'll point you in the right direction.
You know what? I like what you just said there, Jeremy, because it reminds me of a story I heard from a friend of mine who's from back in the day, grew up in the valley, Southern California, back when it was bad news to ride a chopper because the law was going to be on your butt. You're talking about back in the 60s and 70s, even some of the 80s. And he was telling me that, back in the day, Harley riders, brotherhood was this when you broke down, or no. Let me back up. He would say back in those days, we never said to each other, hey, you want to take a ride down to such and such place? We never said that. I said, so he said to me, you know what we said? I said, what? He goes, is your bike running? You know what I mean? And if you said no, then they would say, well, what is wrong? And you tell them what's wrong. Oh, it needs points, or it needs carburetor, or it needs a generator. And then they get on the phone and call the next bro down the road. Hey man, you got this, you got that. And they say, yeah, we got this, we got that. They all get together and fix each other's bikes and stuff. And that was the brotherhood of it. And then he said, what killed it and what the beginning of the end of that was, but which I don't think it's the beginning of the end. It morphs. He said when the Evo came out, that started to wane a bit because it just wouldn't break.
Well, and I get some of that, but so and I don't talk about this a lot on YouTube, but I mentioned the MRO. I'm part of the Motorcycle Rights Organization. I'm actually the president of my local. We've got 60 members, and Sunday we're going to install speakers on one gal's bike. We're going to do oil changes on my bike. We're going to do oil change on Firecracker's bike because we need to do them before we go back to Arkansas for the International Female Ride Day. We got another guy bringing a bike up. We're going to put a new front wheel on his bike. We just plan a shop day. And we're going to get 4 or 5 of us together in the garage, and we're going to help each other work on each other's bikes and knock all this shit out, hang out, have a good time. and it is some of the best times I have off of two wheels. It's around two wheels, but it's some of the best times. We all get together, we all work on bikes together, go have dinner together, hang out together, and this is the only community I've ever seen that builds a family even off two wheels. We still get together and have dinner together, do things together. Me and Bill have known each other for over 7 years. We used to go do Dollar Burger night, together. And it was just an excuse to go hang out together and stuff. But it's, that kind of relationship and camaraderie and stuff. And like I said, maybe I'm on a soapbox, but I encourage anybody out there that it kills me when I see people saying, I'm going to sell my bike because I don't have anybody to ride with. Well, I didn't buy a bike to ride with somebody else. I mean, I do ride with people all the time, but I didn't buy a bike for that reason. But, if you can't find somebody to ride with, you're just not going to the right things and meeting the right people. Just keep doing it until you find the right crowd. You'll find your crew.
Especially in today's age, social media and all the platforms that are out there. If you can't find somebody to ride with you, if that's your thing, you are not trying at all.
Yeah, I never looked for somebody to ride with. I just got on my bike and headed somewhere and always found them without even trying.
I think it's more like they found you.
Oh, come on now.
You go into a bar and you make yourself known. Are you going to do the cackle for everybody tonight? He has a cackle that everybody in the Ozarks knows.
I'm back.
I'm calling him out.
Hello.
He'll walk into a bar and just do that out of the clear blue. And everybody look around and say, hey, Bill's here.
And it'll scare the little old ladies and the suburbanites and whatnot. Will be like, oh my God. And people have literally got up and walked out, paid their bill and said, okay, we're out of here.
Something that makes me proud of the Harley Davidson flea market is we have a lot of members, and I can go in and look at charts that are in their 70s. I've got them up into their 80s that are still riding, but some can't. And, a lot of them guys, man, they spend their last days. They're fighting cancer. They're fighting things, and they spend their last days on earth in that group with us, helping others and just the camaraderie. And I don't find out till afterwards from family members of how much they enjoyed the group. And I get close to a lot of those guys, and it always hurts to lose a member, for whatever reason. But that's one thing about the Harley Davidson flea market, man. We're there for the good times. We're there from the bad times, You'll find that within that group, and that's one aspect of that group that I'm really proud of.
Hey, Charlie, I got a quick question for you. Do you have plans on Memorial Day weekend already?
When is Memorial Day weekend? I've been seeing Memorial Day weekend. That tells you how quick I go.
It's always the last weekend of May.
It's the last full weekend with a Monday in May. And I'm just going to tell you, if you want to come to the Mid-America Freedom Rally in Buckhorn, Missouri, I will personally pay your admission so you can come hang out with us. I'm going to work my ass off. I
think my Freedom of the Road Riders Local 15 actually come to that. Les and Stovall and all them.
Yeah.
So let me see what I can do about being there with them. I'll get with them guys and maybe ride up with them.
We'll get with them, but I mean, if you want to show up, I'm the chairman. So if you get there, I will personally pay your admission to come in and hang out. I can't promise I'll get to hang out and party with you much because I'm going to be running the rally all weekend, but you will have a good time. We have a live band Friday night, 2 live bands on Saturday night, a live band on Sunday night, and I spent a small fortune on Saturday night. We've got Hell's Bells, who plays at Bike Fest all the time, on Saturday night, and Night Train. So we got 2 tribute bands, and all I can say is if you take any video or photos, please don't post them on social media, because that's kind of our rule. Because we had people like literally saying they could lose their job for the shit they did at this rally. This is old school. We do biker events for 3 days. People come in the gate and strip down naked and don't put their clothes on till they leave till Monday.
I'm in.
Yeah. I had my YouTuber hat on last year when we went up there, and I just take that right on off at the gate.
He went outside the gate to record and tell people about what was going on inside, but he couldn't show them. And as a YouTuber, it kills me because I want to share this with the community and stuff. But as the chairman, I got to respect everybody's wishes and what's best for the rally. But I mean, we try and do old school. I really got, as a chairman, I got one rule. That is, if what you're doing doesn't hurt you and doesn't hurt anybody else, then don't fucking come talk to me about it. Let them be. If somebody's gonna get hurt, then I need to know. Otherwise, I don't care.
I tell you what, and you say Hell's Bells is a tribute band, and they are. But if you've never heard Hell's Bells, they do Bike Fest at Lake of the Ozarks most years, and if you're standing there and close your eyes, you wouldn't know the difference. You would think it was AC/DC playing. They are good. They rock.
We had Almost Kiss 2 years ago out of Kansas City, and they were really good. And the tribute bands really seemed to bring the crowd in, so I doubled down on it this year. This is a rally that's been going on for 34 years. We do it on Memorial Day weekend. We raise money. The money goes back into putting the rally on the next year, but we do things like there's a veteran cemetery in Fort Leonard Wood, which is only about 10 minutes away. We have a wreath made on Sunday. They have a ceremony on Sunday morning for veterans, and all the veterans who are there are part of it. And then we take that wreath over to the cemetery and leave it. On Sunday night, we do a Rolling Thunder at midnight. And I guarantee you, everybody in Valhalla can hear 100 bikes out there rev bombing, doing burnouts and smoking tires in a gravel drive, kind of thing in front of the stage. We go all out. This rally was started to remember our veterans. And that's why I've had people say, oh, you should move it. I'm like, no, we ain't moving it. It either happens this weekend or we don't have it. There's no other thing, because it's about supporting and remembering our veterans. And that's why it happens on Memorial Day weekend.
Right on. Well, guys, check it out. It's about that time, and I'm going to have to check out for the evening, but it's been good.
Good to see you again, Corey.
Corey, I want to say, I personally want to say, I really appreciate you coming out to Eureka Springs and hanging out with us. I know I reached out to you and invited you and stuff. I had a really great time. For me, it was kind of like meeting one of those people that had been on YouTube before I was, that I watched, and I said, oh, look, this guy does this and he can do that. And people watch his videos. And if they'll watch, his videos, then maybe they'll watch my videos and stuff. So, I mean, you're an inspiration to some of us content creators, and I'll say it if other people won't, but I'm really glad I got to spend the weekend with you, and I appreciate you and the missus making the trek up to hang out with us.
I really appreciate the invite. And, as far as all of that, the way I see it, I'm just another bozo with a camera recording what I'm doing. And, we're all just people, man. We're good, and really it was an epic time, meeting everybody and making the connections with all of you. And it's just awesome, and hopefully do it again,
Absolutely.
It's just great, In fact, we're talking about doing the tramp camp again. Not like the last time we did it was in like around this time, but we're talking about it's not set in stone. But if it is, I'll make a video about it later on. But maybe sometime in the fall. But who knows? Maybe it can come down for that. Who knows? We'll see what happens. It's all muddy and it's in the air. But
we'd love to come see you sometime.
Yeah. That'd be cool. And likewise, I'd like to come see you guys too. But anyway, thank you so much for this, Mike, for letting me know about this. And Jeremy, awesome live. And thanks for getting us all together once again.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Yeah. And thanks for letting me home for a part of the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Corey, man, y'all be safe down that way. I'm sure we'll be in your neck of the woods here for too long. I'll reach out to you.
Right on. And Bill, your bike rocks, by the way. It makes me jealous. I wish I had a ratchet top transmission. I want a jockey ship too.
Yeah, I got one.
Get your wallet out.
I'll deliver it to you if you'll pay for
it. All right, guys. Take it easy.
Later, brother.
Have a good night, one.
Night, Corey. Tell the missus good night. We missed her.
I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Where's the like button? I got this thing coming across the screen here. It says the guy in the The
You
guy
don't have
in the
access to it on the StreamYard site from your phone, so
The guy in the top left corner is an asshole. Hit the like button if you agree.
So you'll have to go to the YouTube stream on YouTube afterwards to like it. But he's an asshole, but he's a good asshole.
don't tell people the good part.
I just caught that.
It's been scrolling across there for an hour, 49 minutes.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for him to swap spots. I don't think he's figured out how he can drag and drop people around the screen yet.
Oh, he's
You know that,
me up
Jeremy?
there a minute ago.
Oh,
You
wait, shit.
You could drag Jay over there and put him in the top left and make him the asshole.
I'm all right with that.
Sorry,
Oh,
we had 3 black in a row again. Three black shirts. 3 black
You
shirts.
can't line up the black shirts. You got to keep the red.
Hey, remember everybody deployed. It's Friday.
Yep.
Well, guys, I'm going to check out, man. I'm excited. I'm anxious, man. I'm thankful to Jeff and Big Trail and Switchback for, taking this on, and giving us a place to come gather. I hope, I know they have hopes of making this an annual thing, and, one rally at a time. I hope we get there,
Well, Charlie, I'll be at the Mid-America Freedom Rally Memorial Day weekend. If you can make it up, we'll hook up and talk more. And I think it'll be the Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. It's the next open slot I got, and that's before your rally. So if you can leave that Tuesday night open, we'll put you on a live stream, and we'll talk about your event and share that out with everybody. Because for me, riding in the Ozarks, I cover a lot of stuff because I want to grow the channel. And the more I grow the channel, the more people I can reach. But ultimately, the goal is for riding in the Ozarks to help people understand what we have to offer here in the Ozarks. That includes your event, Jeff's event, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, Bike Fest, all those things, Mid-America Freedom Rally, the Pig Trail, Arkansas Dragon, riding Highway 19, Scenic Arkansas or Scenic Missouri, the Riverways, all those things. That's all things I want to promote and grow the channel to be able to reach more people with that information.
Well, we might be able to work together. Like I said, I reached 254,000 members. We could get a weekly or a monthly, live feed within the group and get it shared.
Absolutely. Whatever I could, if I can do something that promotes riding in the Ozarks, that is the highest priority. And then everything else is about what I can do to grow the channel so I can promote that some more.
Well, there we go.
Charlie,
guys, it was nice. It was nice meeting all of you.
Plug your event, Charlie, before you go.
Yeah.
Tell everybody one more time what your dates are and where it's at.
Ozark Mountain Rumble Rally, June 9, 10, and 11, Eureka Springs, Arkansas, Rogers, Arkansas.
Is it on Cyclefish?
No, but I am friends with those guys, and I'm going to get with them and get them on Cyclefish. I'm also do the shop talk.
What about
are you gonna get in with Chris? Hold it. You're gonna get in with Chris and Heather on Shop Talk?
Yes.
That will be so. If y'all don't know what Shop Talk is, you're missing out. Sunday nights, Shop Talk does a live stream every Sunday night. Check it out. Shop Talk is, it's the talk show we all want to be. I'm just saying.
It's the one that Cycle Source puts on, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
They were at Cycle Showcase. I guess you didn't make that, did you, Charlie?
No.
Are you going to be there next year?
I hope, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I've got 254,000 members. I run 100 miles an hour. I ship parts galore. I just got all I can do, with the bike, with helping the kids. And a lot of people don't realize I still have the day job that I've been at for 20 years,
Well, I understand you have the day job. Do you know our friend Malcolm with Schmidt Law that used to be with Law Tigers? Malcolm Woods?
I've met some of the Law Tiger guys. I can't say I personally know him, no.
Well, Malcolm was with Law Tigers. Law Tigers is pulled out of Missouri. He's now with Schmidt Law. I will try and maybe make a connection for you. They also sponsor Cycle Showcase, but they can help with things here in Missouri and events and things like that. And we'll talk offline about that stuff. But
some of our members do the cannonball and the chase, and I'm usually involved with those each year. They do the chase. They actually came through Missouri and Arkansas last year before last.
Malcolm's working for an attorney out of Kansas City now called Schmidt Law Firm, and Ben rides Nortons in races. He's older guy, a little bit older than me, but he still rides Nortons and does racing on Nortons and stuff. And we'll talk and we'll get together and hook up. But that be another resource that could help promote things here in the Ozarks and the Missouri side.
Sounds good. All right, guys, I'm out. Babe, can you shut that off?
Later, dude.
So Busted stepped off, so I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing here, and I'm going to read this question out of the chat here if y'all didn't see this. Riding in the Ozarks. I'm planning a trip for a few days of riding in the Ozarks in September. Where is a good place to get a ride map? So ride maps vary. Like State of Missouri Board of Tourism has them. Arkansas has them. Ozark Rides has them. There's multiple sources for them for Arkansas. I guess my question would be, are you going to do Missouri, Arkansas, or both? And to me personally, over maps, which sometimes people pay and get sponsored rides on maps, I would say if you really want to get the inside scoop of where to go ride, Bill and Ray know this, but I have a group called Riding in the Ozarks. It's a community group as well. It's not my personal page, but it's a community group on Facebook called Riding in the Ozarks, and anybody can request to join. And as long as I don't think you're going to try and sell us characters or t-shirts, I'll accept you. And then you can post in there, hey, I'm going to be staying here. Where do you recommend I ride? And you will get all kinds of answers from all kinds of people that live in this area with their different viewpoints on where to go ride, what to go see, what to go do. But I'm really proud of that group because it's a community oriented thing where you can post in here, I'm coming to this area, and people will tell you the routes. They'll ask you, where do you want to stay? Where's your base camp at? They'll help you figure out where you might be able to camp and put the RV versus where you can't, things like that. So if you're coming to the Ozarks, get in that group, start asking questions. You'll get real answers from real people in this community, and not just what somebody paid to advertise on a tourism brochure.
To elaborate on that, I see this a lot. People from other parts of the country, they're interested in what we're sharing, and they say, we're coming to the Ozarks. What should we see? The Ozarks is a big area. So
everything for one.
Yeah. Either tell us what part of the Ozarks in particular you're coming to, and we can tell you what's in that area to look at. Or if you tell us what you're wanting to see, do you want to see waterfalls? Do you want to see caves? Do you want to see, what in particular you want to see? We'll tell you what area to go to. But absolutely, get in the group and say what you're interested in. We can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, people don't realize, but Ozarks runs from almost the Mississippi River to Oklahoma. I mean, it's like eastern Oklahoma, south of I-44, a little bit north of I-44 around Lake of the Ozarks area and stuff. But basically, everything south of 70, all the way down to the northern half of Oklahoma or of Arkansas, over to Oklahoma and almost Illinois. I mean, it's a big area. Parts of it have more relief elevation changes like the Boston Mountains in northwest Arkansas than the other parts, but we have our own mountain ranges as well in Missouri, but they're not as drastic elevation changes. Ozark City Lake. So you think that's Lake of the Ozarks City?
You got me on that one.
Says plan on starting out around Ozark City Lake. So there's a city called Lake of the Ozarks, Lake Ozark City at Bagnell Dam. And if that's where you're planning on, then me and Bill can definitely hook you up in that area because we know that area very well.
Ray's Googling
it. Ozark City Lake in Arkansas.
Is there an Ozark, Arkansas? Because there's an Ozark, Missouri.
No,
I'm pretty sure there's an Ozark, Arkansas. I'm pretty sure that's
there's a lake. It says Ozark City Lake, and it's in Arkansas.
Okay.
Miss Google over here is on the spot.
It is
southern part of Pig Trail. Okay, so you're talking just north of 40. So Oark Cafe, Pig Trail, War Eagle Mill, Highway 7 back up into Jasper toward Harrison. All those are great rides.
You could even take 40 over toward Russellville and pick up Pettit Jean State Park, Mount Magazine, Mount Nebo, all scenic.
You could ride out of Harrisonville back up to Peel's Ferry.
Mm-hmm. So much.
Yeah, actually, Ozark, Arkansas is the end of the Pig Trail. It's right there at I-40 and 23.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, what's the name of that little gas station there, Mike, that we met at? You remember?
I do not remember. I just remember the Popo was up the street about
Workman's
half mile. You
Travel
texted
Center
me and gave me the heads
40 and
up.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a message from Jay says Popo's running radar. Come in slow.
A DDK right there at that at Ozark, right there when you get off the travel center, right there off the interstate, headed north on the Pig Trail. They have, if you want a proper map, there is a Arkansas rides map in that travel center, and at all of the state parks in the whole northwest corner of the state. There, it's a little booklet, and they're listed by difficulty and every which way to go. Now, I don't know about Missouri and Oklahoma, but in Arkansas, there is a little pamphlet on almost every single state park and travel center, and they put them out everywhere. They're easy to find.
If you're running all the way up 23, all the way up to Pig Trail, go ahead and run into Rogers and go to Pig Trail Harley. Yep. They have maps, about a dozen maps of big loops you can make.
Randall, did you get all those memorized while you were hanging out there the other day?
I did have the time. I probably should have invested it wisely.
Should at least put them in your pocket.
Sorry, you look like you were falling asleep over there, so I wanted to get you engaged.
Well, it's 11 o'clock here, right?
Yeah.
No, you're implying I care where you're at. I care who you are, not where you are. You could be in California for all I know the way you travel. Next week you might be.
Well, now that you mention it.
So, and again, at a lot of the state parks in Arkansas, you will find a small book that is literally a book of waterfalls, and it lists 200 plus waterfalls in Arkansas with directions, GPS coordinates. It'll tell you whether you can drive to them or whether you have to do a hike. We bought that book and we've been chasing waterfalls for the past 2 years. That's another good resource to pick up.
Isn't there a song about that?
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Hey,
we do though.
Hold it. If there's not a song about it, I know a guy.
I mean, I know no cover. I got to learn now.
Hey, can you write a song about hanging out with a bunch of YouTubers?
Oh gosh, this sounds so boring. That would never sell.
Don't tell them they're YouTubers. Just tell them they're a bunch of fucking misfits.
And one guy's an asshole.
Yeah, apparently.
He's in the top left.
Just
Hit
one
the like button.
You guys are talking about traveling. I just want to throw this out there because a lot of people, they're looking, they'll say, hey, I want to go do this thing. First of all, you already hinted on it. First, they'll make a list of reasons they shouldn't do it. It's like almost immediately, the moment they have that idea, the moment they start dreaming, they shoot their ideas down. They start cutting their dreams down and start trying to make them sound realistic, right? There might be a time for that, but it's not while we're dreaming, man. Just dream up the ride and imagine yourself there. And those things are going to creep in. Try to shoot those negativities right out. So that gets you on the road. You'll figure it out, I promise. But this idea of picking out locations and going and seeing them, let me ask you a question. Have you ever, say you're going on a ride, it might be a place you even know, but you get on some back road that you haven't been on, and you go around a turn, and there's this thing there. There's a vantage, there's a farm, there's a lake, and you're just like, oh, wow, that's cool. I'm glad we came down here. I've never seen that before. We've all experienced that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So imagine, if you will, for me, just for a moment, that you just leave the house because you have 2 days, call it a weekend maybe or whatever it is, but you have 2 days and you don't have to be somewhere for 2 days. Or maybe you don't have that. Maybe you have 12 hours. There's 12 hours that you don't have to be somewhere. So you just get on the bike and you go. Every moment along the way, you're going to find yourself doing something and it's going to be a surprise. And you're going to get hit with that same emotion of like, wow, this is really cool. I'm glad I did this. because I saw something, I did something, I met someone. The moral of all this is don't plan your ride into failure. I hear people do that all the time. It's the number one reason I don't participate in group rides, hardly ever.
You're right with the wrong group. Our group's a failure all the time.
Yeah, you can over plan.
Yeah.
You can plan yourself right into a failed trip. So try not to plan too much. If you want to go see waterfalls, I understand the draw to do that. But how much cooler is it whenever you're out on the ride and you just come up and you're like, wow, a waterfall's here. Let's go check it out.
We actually had that happen like on our very first trip out.
Yeah.
We were just planning on a day trip, and then we just
Turned into a 3-day ride.
yeah.
I'll go
That's
one
awesome.
step further though. You say, and I hear that a lot. Well, what if something goes wrong? If you hang out with bikers, I tell you what, some of the best stories are from when something went wrong.
Exactly.
The ride,
It's not what if
rides
something
that went
goes
well
wrong.
were fun.
Something will go wrong. Just know that going into it.
Yeah.
And it will be okay. Know that also.
What one of my mottos, and I've said this for forever: if you manage to live to be an old age, have good stories to tell. Live a life worth living. If things go wrong, at least you have good stories to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Saddle Tramp standing on a wrench trying to tighten down my compensator here a few days back. That's not something that was in the plan. It was one of my favorite things about the trip. One of my favorite things about the Ozarks was me and Saddle Tramp having some garage time that's this motorcycling community is starved for. We need more garage time, right?
Not that you were in the garage by any means. You're in the driveway, right?
Yep.
Because the garage was locked.
The garage is off limits.
Figuratively in the garage.
Well, I'm not trying to, but after the bike show and I won the bike show, well, I had pulled in there almost running on one cylinder. It took me like 7-8 kicks to get the bike started. I went back to the motel room and out there in the parking lot, changed the plugs, re-gapped the points, got the thing running again, tighten up the exhaust. It's all part of the experience.
Yeah, because we wasn't sure if it was going to make it back from that.
But it goes back to, and I mean, I ride a newer bike on long trips. I ride a newer Street Glide and take it for that. But I also ride a 2000 FXDX. I'll ride older bikes. I'm not afraid to ride older bikes. I actually want an older bike because I want something to work on. I like working on bikes. I like tinkering on bikes. I like fixing things. I like doing something with my hands. It's therapeutic for me to go out in the garage and work on something and get away from the computer and get away from that life that's my normal life. And for anybody
we'll bring you some therapy then.
I'm not working on your shovel head. Evo's and up only. Just saying. Sorry. I have no experience with shovel heads. And if I'm going to go back, I'm just going to skip the whole shovel thing and go back to a panhead.
Panhead, yes.
I mean, I don't know maybe it's because, and I can't pull the picture up, but right after I was born, my dad wrecked a panhead. And he's got a steel plate in his wrist still to this day from it. And he rode an old panhead chopper. I've got pictures of it. When I was 2 years old, he wrecked it. And it's like, I guess, if somebody said, oh, you have one real wish, what would it be? It would be like to rebuild that bike for him and to give it to him in his old age. And he could leave it to me, so it doesn't leave the family at all. But it'd be like to put that bike back into his life. I mean, panhead, it was, he did all these things to it with the motor work and chopped it. I've seen pictures of it like when he first bought it, then pictures when he was done with it and the change of it. And that's kind of what inspires me to don't get me wrong. My dad's a lot smarter than I am. He is a lot smarter than I am. That's not just self-deprecation. He really is a very smart man, but he's taught me a lot. He's thrown a lot of wrenches at me when I was a kid. I learned to duck. But he also taught me that I could climb up on the top of a 350 Chevy and take the heads off of it. I could do these things. We could put gaskets on it. We could do all this stuff. We could take it apart. And we did all that before I was 17 years old. So,
I can take anything apart. It's just putting it back together.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
well, yeah, granted, but now we have the advantage of having a camera. So I've learned it's not everybody on this may know the story with April's bike, but Bill and some of us do that have followed it. But her Sport Glide, we didn't tear it down to the frame. We left the motor and the transmission intact and stuff, but we took the gas tank off, handlebars all off, down to seat off, all the fenders and bodywork off.
Took all the tins off, basically.
But not just tins. We took all the handlebars and the lighting on the front end off. They had to disconnect all the lighting on the rear end for the fenders and all that, and the bag. So we were down to the frame, the engine, and transmission with suspension. So it wasn't much more of a rolling chassis, really, except we knew it ran. But we took it all apart, got it all painted, put it all back together, put new bars on it. I wired the bars myself. I still got scabs trying to pull them fucking wires through there. They're healing and stuff. But it reminded me therapeutically how much I enjoyed doing that. I mean, we did that this winter and we did it together, and I really enjoyed doing that and being off the computer, not having the camera rolling all the time and trying to make a video out of it. We did a little bit, and stuff. But so I was like, yeah, I want an old Dyna I can work on. So when she wanted to sell her Dyna, I'm like, I'll buy it. Don't sell it to anybody else. I'll buy it because I want something I can work on, something I can go out in the garage, and it's therapy for me, and I enjoy it. And I imagine that's kind of what the shovel is for Bill, but he's just a little more, self-harm than I am.
Well, we literally, for those who don't know, we literally live in a shop. We live in the old ambulance building here in our local town. They built a new ambulance building, and I bought the old one. So the building literally has living quarters off to one side. We step through a door and we're in the shop among the kids, as we are now. When I say we live to ride, we literally do.
Well,
I just want to say, if you all ain't subscribed to Witchcraft, let's help them get that over 100. They are at 97 right now.
Oh my!
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, kick them up. So
we bounced over
absolutely.
100.
Well, if I get my wife to make more videos, would help too.
I have been so bombarded this week. I still have not even unpacked my bag from Spring Fling, except for my clothes to wash them.
And you have a week before we're gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, my saddlebags are still full. So
Ray,
But are your boots still wet?
Yeah.
no, I got those dried out. I borrowed a hair dryer and got those dried out.
Yeah, and it ran all night.
It did.
So-
Somebody finally shut it off sometime.
So I'm gonna tell y'all.
I think it was Shannon went in there and shut it off because she couldn't sleep.
So I'm gonna tell y'all, Ray's gonna be on the stream Tuesday night with Firecracker and hopefully riding with the Mermaid and Carrie from the Switchback Bar. And I'm gonna wait till Sunday and email you a list of questions that I'm gonna ask you, so you can have a little bit of time to prepare for those questions. Now, Steve Bagger Bader is going to be on the show, and he's going to ask you questions that are going to be like follow-ups based on your response. So you can't prepare for those. But we're going to ask you questions about as a female rider and things like that in our community and stuff, kind of leading into the International Female Ride Day and stuff. The one question I didn't ask, because it's a loaded question, I already know the answer, is who owns the most bikes?
That's not fair.
Really? You got to go there?
Yeah, it's unfair because the truth is she owns more bikes than her husband.
I just get to work on them.
Tell them all how many bikes you own, Ray.
I have 5.
How many you got, Bill?
3. But I get to work on them all.
You say that like you enjoy it.
Speaking of which, I have to do an oil change on her Road Queen before this weekend as well.
Yeah, I ordered oil and oil filters since Jay's going out of business and he's not doing anything. And the oil filters were supposed to come in today and they didn't come in today. So I
Well,
panicked and I hopped on Amazon and I ordered 2 oil filters overnight to be here on Monday. Then I went out to Plug Uglies and there they are on the shelf, a whole line of oil filters. And I went over and I said, "Hey, can I buy 2 of these off you?" And he's like, "Just take them with you." He wouldn't let me pay for them. So now I'm going to have a surplus of oil filters, but I got everything I need to do oil changes on Sunday.
You can just hand him over 2 of the ones that you got coming.
I was on Facebook a while ago, and Jay's last official day was actually today.
Yeah, he told me he's like he wanted everything gone by Monday. So I actually a friend of mine and Bill and Ray know him, Travis. He's picking me up in the morning, and we're going to pick up his tire changer and balancer. So I'll have access to one of those locally. And he's closing his shop down. He's an amazing mechanic. You'll probably never meet anybody that knows more about tuning a motorcycle than him. But he had a heart attack earlier this year, and he's already retirement age. And he's just like, "I'm done." He's going back to Florida, and I'll have to go to Florida to visit him.
Y'all, I got to get off here. I got to be up in like 7 hours. I appreciate y'all having me on.
So what I heard was my pussy hurts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just busting your chops because I love you. And,
That's right.
And when Mid-American Freedom Rally rolls around, I'm gonna be like, hey, Jay, can you take the mic while I go do this? Jay, can you do that? Can you do this?
Yeah.
Last year, this guy showed up at this rally. He's not even a member of Freedom of Road Riders who puts the rally on or anything else. And I was doing field events, and there was some emergency with the band, and I had to run up and go do something. I just threw him a mic and said, "Hey, MC the field events." He's like, "I got you, bro." He just rolled with it.
Take over. I screwed up a little bit, but I corrected it, so we're okay.
Nobody cared. We all had a good time.
Hey, everybody in the side chat, man, I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
It was nice seeing you again, bud.
Y'all too, man.
I'll see you. I'll see you in a few weeks.
I'll see the rest of y'all somewhere along the way.
Definitely.
See you, brother.
Well, I got to call it a night too. I got to go take care of a dog. So, hey, I appreciate you putting this together, Jeremy. This was great, and it was great to see everybody
again. I mean, it's not been very long, but it was great seeing y'all again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do like a 6-month reunion.
Yeah, we need to. We need to.
Well, hopefully we have a reunion next year at Spring Fling.
Hey, can somebody read put Darren's comment up there for witchcraft, just so they know?
Yeah, do that.
See that. Throw that out there for them.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I feel important now.
Congratulations on your 100.
I tell
Thank
you,
you.
I tell you what, we started this as a whim. Basically, Thompson was pushing us to do YouTube. We've had the Facebook for a while.
Hey,
but,
don't lay all that on my feet.
Yeah, you were pushing hard, but we just started.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
We literally just started the YouTube thing 2 months ago, and as this spring fling, we met a bunch of you YouTubers, and we had a blast. And we have been overwhelmed, literally. I mean, with the response that we have had, it's gone through the roof. It's amazing. We have people wanting to know if we have merchandise, if we have koozie cups, if we have T-shirts. We've been invited to special events. It has just blown up here in the last week, and we can't thank everybody enough.
If you can do the Teespring thing and do T-shirts and stuff like that, if you're interested in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a pretty good response to our logos,
yeah.
Handing out stickers and wearing our T-shirts and whatnot, and everybody had a positive comment for us about our logo and thought it was just really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, you guys ended up on the toolbox at work because I think I only got one sticker from you.
Well, we can get you more.
All right, I need at least a couple more so I can put them on the toolbox and on the lift or on the beer fridge at least.
I just ordered 500 more. I don't know if they're going to be here in time for next week at the female ride, but they're coming.
So, Ray, awesome. I was informed that the poker chips for International Female Ride Day shipped today, so they should be here in time for that.
Okay, cool.
So those are shipped out. So Ray and Firecracker have been like working their little asses off on this female ride day, even though it's like it's a switchback event and everything else, but they just want people to have stuff to be there. And that's what we talk about with the community. They've come out with some poker chips that they're going to hand out to people to come and participate to commemorate the International Female Ride Day this year. And there's going to be a giveaway, and we're working on some stuff with some vendors. Firecrackers got to call the lady from Pig Trail about the shirts this weekend. I think you and her are getting together and stuff. But I mean, it really, people don't realize, I mean, there's a lot of work to it, but there's a lot of reward to it. But, these girls are like spending their own money to have something to give somebody else for coming to hang out with them, because they want to show them that they're appreciated as a part of the audience and part of the community. And we're getting Pig Trail involved. We're getting the Cathouse involved, and just, everybody comes together to make things as good and as a positive event as we can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we really wanted to put together deciding the route. We wanted to put together a route that it's not just a ride, but we wanted to give everybody time to stop and see some scenery, have some interesting places to take photos, and then have time.
Well, and for the women to be able to mingle.
Yeah, exactly.
And like build.
And we picked Randall as our honorary woman to test it out on.
Do what?
What?
I said we made Randall like our honorary woman to test out for the female ride day. He's not a woman, but we tested the ride out on him, and he gave us a raving review. So we'll do well.
So
I'm
what is
just
your
built
route
different.
on
What'd you say?
that? What is your route on your ride, ladies?
We are going to be leaving out of Switchback, and then we're gonna go over to the Beaver Bridge, which is also known as the Little
Golden Gate.
Yeah, Little Golden Gate, and then over to Pig Trail, Harley, and Rogers, and then back down to War Eagle Mill. And then we're gonna stop off at the Cathouse, and then it'll end back at the Switchback.
Okay. And I'm just busting Randall's balls because I was afraid he was going to fall asleep on me back there in the corner. But he did say it was a good ride.
Well, he's in a different time zone, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, he's a little ahead of us.
All good. It's all good. No, I tell you, you know what? It's really catching up is I do charter trips, and in order to do these trips, I have to catch bait. In order to catch bait, I have to be on the water at 3 a.m.
Oh wow!
So yeah, the last 2 days were long days for me, and I think I'm still catching up. That's all.
Well, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm trying to keep you involved here and engaged.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
But I mean, for Randall's not a local to the area. I mean, he's passed through the area and everything else, but he's not rode all these rides before, been to War Eagle Mill and stuff. And we took him on the route, and he really had positive things to say about it. And for me, that was very encouraging. That I think the ladies will enjoy it and stuff, to have that fresh perspective on what we're going to try and present for them.
Well, and you just highlighted Darren here was asking about if there were going to be single ladies. We want to mention that this is not just a women's ride. Everyone's invited. The women are going to be up front, but we don't care if you ride passenger. We don't care if you ride your own. We don't care if you're a man. Everybody's invited to come along. This is going to be a fun ride.
So, Mike, you don't have to tuck.
No. Me and Bill are already stuck doing roadblock. We've already figured that out. But so I assume you guys are heading home on Sunday, right, Bill and Ray?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to rub it in just a little bit here as one of those perks of that job is I'm off Monday. That's Harry S. Truman Day. And so, how we have to leave all the time, and you guys are saying, oh yeah, we're staying until, Monday or coming home Monday. Yeah, we're not coming home till Monday. So this is my turn to come home on Monday. We're already got a ride planned out on Sunday. I think we're going to go due east, try and hit Drasco, because I have been told.
Oh, Drasco Trading Post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I've been told there's a Riding in the Ozark sticker there, and I've never been there. So I'm going to try and get there on Sunday and find it before they close.
If I remember right, I think I did see one because I was like, oh, they have been here already.
I haven't been there, but my sticker's there, and I've been like pictures have been posted on Facebook of it, so I know it's there. But and I think I know who put it there. So, but I want to go see it and just kind of document that and experience that because I've never been to Drasco. So,
if you're going to be down in Drasco area, go north to Mountain View and check out Blanchard Springs and Caverns.
Well, I think we're going to go Sunday and try and hit Drasco before they close at 3 and then stay somewhere in that area and then ride home Monday. While you're at work, because Bill, I know what an asshole you work for.
But from Drasco, you're going to go due north back home, do a little bypass and go out to Blanchard Springs and Caverns. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah, Mirror Lake Waterfalls is right there. It's a very super easy hike. It's running constant all the time, nonstop. It's well worth it.
I think Steve's going to go with us. So we'll see who all's going with us and who all can take off Monday. But I don't have to be home. So I get to be the guy that doesn't have to be home on Monday for a change.
Yeah, I didn't make it to work Sunday night. Like I was supposed to.
Did you have a bad case of Taco Bell?
Yes. Actually, my boss knew what I was doing all weekend, so he doesn't really expect me to call in because it doesn't happen often, but it was one of those things where I sent him a text and he goes, all right, just hey, not going to make it in tonight. And he goes, okay.
So Randall's like the oddball out here. I mean, he's way out in the northeast part, and I've not spent much time out there. But one of the guys who's doing the female ride day with us, Steve, he's from Vermont, so he's up in the northeast corner of the country and stuff. And I'm gonna have to find time to go out to the northeast and with him and stuff and do some rides.
Laconia, buddy.
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking when I go northeast with Steve, we're going to have to holler at you and hook up and let you show us around your area and maybe take us out on the boat or fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds awesome.
Go snort some cocaine off a stripper's ass, whatever we can get into.
I wouldn't even know where to tell you to go.
I can figure that part out. You just go along.
When you say he's the oddball in the group, that is really saying something in this group.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so Randall, I don't want to put you on the spot here and stuff, but
yes,
we talked about this a little bit earlier about your music. So if people are interested in your music, how or where do they find your music? Is it only on your YouTube channel or your Facebook, or how do they learn more about you and your music?
Right. So I've been doing the music thing for over 20 years now, but the simple truth is I'm not very accessible. You can't find the music anywhere else other than just on my videos that I've made. So I've done some real simple scratch recordings here at the house, but I'm a songwriter, and that's art. That's like an art, so I'm an artist. And one of the downfalls of artists commonly that I see is we're not real organized. It's like if you could get that organized bit of our brain to actually work, we could actually start making money in music, but that just doesn't
organized
go.
Bit's too busy making music with the creative part of your brain.
That's what it is. Yeah, the creative mind just is not good at those things, and that's why we have that term, starving artists. It's the truth. Oftentimes they just can't make the money follow the action. So you can watch my videos, and I have them titled. If I actually have them all broken into playlist. You can actually just go to the music playlist on Randall Rides. And other than that, you can go to randallrides.com. And whenever the music becomes available, and guys, I need help with that. So if you guys have anybody, I need to get into a studio. I need to raise some funds to pay for it, of course, and all that stuff. If you guys know somebody that knows somebody, you tell them to reach out.
Hey, and if you're riding through the area, I have a friend who has a venue, a bar, restaurant. They're in the live music scene big time, and they really promote that. So
right on.
If you know you're going to come through this way, I can try and hook you up with a gig that might open some doors and stuff. But the other place, again, self-promotion is I did a little live from from Spring Fling of Randall singing. So you
Mhm.
can catch his music on his channel, or you can go back through my lives and you can find him on my channel where
Yeah,
I'm
and
got a short of him
recording
singing.
him.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. Like the community that surrounds me. I mean, guys who have a lot more clout and a lot more pull on YouTube. I mean, they've really just given me a lot more attention than a simple little channel like mine really deserves. So I'm getting a lot more attention and people gravitating to me than the effort that I'm putting into it. And it's been just such an awesome group to be around. Like I'm really humbled by it when I take a step back and I look. If I were to put a little bit more effort into this, it could really go somewhere. And as of I'm sitting right now, I have 43 songs copywritten through U.S. Congress. I have another dozen songs that are written that haven't been copywritten. So I have the material. I've got 7 albums worth of music. You know what I mean? So it's not like there's a shortage there. I live for the performance. I'm a strong songwriter. I know that. And my focus and my love for music is it's powerful. I get that, but I still need to get that organization side to it. So maybe there's a lady out there that wants to do all that for me. I need someone to ride on the back seat too.
Well, where you gonna put the guitar?
That's
You not
what
to
I
the
was
back of
gonna
the
ask.
system bar?
You haven't looked at my bike then. I actually rigged that up. It's behind the passenger. So
Oh.
she gets a really nice backrest.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So, ladies, if you need a really nice
I think we need to set it
backrest,
up like that one we seen there at the Cathouse.
Randall's got something going for you here. Yeah, you're talking about Naked Jake. So, Randall, I don't know if you saw Naked Jake, but he plays out Switchback. But he has
I
a
did.
saddlebag that's turned into a guitar case on the right side.
Yeah, I
And,
see it.
So,
But I like Randall's better when you're following him down the road. The guitar case sticking up looks like a big finger going down the road as he's going around the curves.
It does, doesn't it?
So
it was not the intent. It wasn't the intent.
So all you ladies, all 11 people watching, if any of you want to like support a starving artist who sounds and sings really good, Randall's your guy.
And fishes. He fishes.
He
decent,
can
too.
he can fish and feed dinner too.
That's right. Thanks
No,
for selling me, Mike. I appreciate that. I'm sure they're just they're all ringing now.
I miss my calling as a pimp.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he may not have the looks, but he has the motorcycle, so he has that going for him.
Yeah, I need to get that motorcycle back, don't I? Oh my gosh, it's the only good thing I had going for me. I left my guitar down in Arkansas too.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you left that down there.
Okay. But now let's all be fair. Kyle at Pig Trails got it, so it's in good hands. He told me
It's
to take
a good
care of
hand.
it.
It's no big deal.
And,
Yeah.
and Kyle, if Kyle at Pig Trails says he's got you, he's got you.
Oh yes,
Kyle's a solid guy.
When I told him, I said I was thinking about actually grabbing a flight to get out of town. He said, "Well, I'll get you an Uber." He called it up and he paid for it, and the Uber pulled up like immediately.
Oh,
I didn't even ask him to do that. Yeah, he went out on a limb there, and he actually.
Well,
he just wanted to get you the hell out of his dealership.
but
people off.
But Kyle's not like that. I mean, I know Kyle, and I've talked to Kyle off and on for years, and he's been on the channel, and we have a relationship. Randall, you may not realize this, but Kyle was constantly updating me on your status. He's like, I checked with the service manager. They're on it. They're staying on top of it. They're staying on top of his situation to make sure he's set. And I hope Randall is froze. Otherwise, that was a weird looking face.
Oh, it's
you were like froze with a big old smile, all teeth. That's all I could see. But but Kyle was
just happy. We're just happy over here, Mike.
But Kyle was checking on your situation. He was letting me know what was going on. Remember, I asked what your name was, your full name for the records, because he wanted to be staying on top of that situation. Kyle knew you came into town to help promote this event that they're a part of. So he wanted to make sure that they were doing everything they could do for you. When I asked him about getting you to the airport, he's like, I will get him a ride or I'll get him an Uber. And that was it. I didn't ask him to. He volunteered. You didn't ask him to pay for it. He just did it because they know you're here and you're supporting an event that's important to them, important to our community down there in that area and everything else. And you're part of that family now. And so it's like what we do is the families, we take care of each other. And Kyle's just taking care of family. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I got
your
that
family
right away.
now. Deal with it.
Deal. Deal with it.
Yeah, you're like that cousin I just drink whiskey with at Christmas.
So there's a couple comments about my music, if you don't mind. I am careful about the influence. I don't even listen to all music. I'm very careful about who I listen to because I do influence quickly. So I don't listen to anything that's outside of. I'm a songwriter. I listen to songwriters. You know, there's a reason I play Willie Nelson and all my Johnny Cash and Waylon and just the old catalog country music. It's just where my heart is. So I'm not going to drift too far. I do write my own stuff, so I drift a little bit, but not too far from that. But in these travels, just coming across, it's really in the hardships that the ideas come to me. So it's on the highway. All the music is about the highway and experiencing the highway on two wheels. And man, there's always a woman in there somewhere, isn't there?
Well, we hope so, huh?
If we're lucky.
Jeez. Yeah, and sometimes that's for better and for worse, right? So that's what the music is, and I'm not going to move too far from that. I know what I love to do, and I'm not going to deviate. Not for anybody, not for the industry, not for anybody.
Not even for me. I asked him. I said we were sitting around the house. I said, "Hey, do you know Cody Jinks?" He says, "I know one artist. His name's Randall." And I totally respect that, but and I admire it. You know, I mean, I love Cody Jinks. I love Chris Stapleton. I love a lot of artists. I'm sure you love them too. But
I do.
He plays one guy.
Yeah,
he plays him, and when he sings, that's who he sings is him. And I think that's cool.
As I said before, integrity is everything.
Mm-hmm.
That makes all the difference in life.
Can I get that somewhere? What's the price tag on that?
Always a girl and a dog. That's right.
So,
God bless dogs. Right? God bless dogs. What's that Tim T. Hall song? Old dogs, children, and watermelon wine.
Oh,
if you don't know, brother, you got to hear it. Tim T. Hall. Old dogs, children, and watermelon wine.
I hope everybody that's still in the chat has hit that plus sign or the thumbs up sign for Busted Knuckles for putting this all together tonight. He's only got 30, and I know there's been a lot more people in and out of here tonight than that.
You kind of took over for him, but
you'll have that. Yeah, I run my mouth a lot. That's for sure.
Well, I didn't want to come right out and say it, but yes,
you've known me 7 years. You can say it. I
like to talk.
Well,
we don't get very far on YouTube if you're not a talker.
Well,
you're not going to do real good either.
Well, the other thing is,
I'm not much of a talker.
What I say, Tim T. Hall. Yeah, it's Tom T. Hall. Thank you.
Yeah, Tom T. Hall. So, but the thing is, on like when you're doing a live, you don't want a lot of dead air or silence too long. And so it's good or bad or whatever else. I try and if I hear like a pause and nobody knows what to say, I try and fill that gap because I don't want the audience to be bored or click off because they lose attention.
Oh, please. If you hear a pause, you barely take a breath. I'm calling you out now.
It's all right. You can call me out. You've known me long enough.
No, it is true though. You don't want downtime.
You don't.
People clicked on here to hear you talk and cover something. You know, they didn't click on to see you with a frozen smile on your face.
I try not to overpower anything, but I do try and like help keep things moving, and hopefully I'm not hurting anybody's feelings or feel like I stepped on their channel or anything else.
Oh,
just trying to keep things
seriousness,
moving.
this has been fun tonight.
Oh yeah, it has.
Yeah, well, and sometimes it's nice about
everybody.
Right. And sometimes it's about trying to like move the conversation around the room and let everybody have a chance to talk or share their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me say this just, and I think I'm going to jump off too. I think I want to get a shower yet tonight before I crash. But that ride that you took us on down there, for the ladies who are riding it, just to understand or give you a little bit of some foreshadowing what to expect on the ride, is it's got some nice, easy, easy switchbacks, and of course, great locations that were picked out with the Golden Gate Bridge of Arkansas, and then but all the stops along the way were really well planned out, and because they've thought about it well enough ahead of time, they're thinking about things like the pace that they're going to keep and how long to stay places so that you can have a little bit of time to just talk and chill, just hang out. It's got the planning that's involved in this isn't as much as it's good stops and it's a good route and it's simple to understand like that. They're thinking about things beyond that as well to make sure that it caters to the ladies from every skill gap to come up. I will say this one thing it's like kind of cautionary is this is not a level 1 ride. I do think there's a little bit of skill during this ride. So just keep your eye out for things like wash. There could be some gravel on the road because we saw that several times on it. And I'm sure that there's going to be some rain at some point between now and then. So that there's going to be some gravel at places, but we'll take it easy.
We'll keep the newbies in the middle and we'll put them in the rocking chair and we'll lead them along. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be a solid ride. And I think you're going to be happy with it. You're going to meet the right crew. And I just got to experience it for a little bit. And I was just, I'm humbled to have been a part of that. And it was a real joy for me it was a surprise. I had no idea I was going on that ride either. So I just woke up in the morning. They said, "You want to go?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" And the whole thing was just a surprise to me. And it was a pleasant surprise. I'm glad that I went on it with you. And
I'm glad you stayed out, bud. Yeah. I know that wasn't the original plan, but I'm glad you.
No, I was planning on camping out in the woods. You know what I mean? That's
it was
what I
chilly
do.
For that.
I'm all right. I have the right gear to be able to travel light, and when I go across the country, I'm set up and I knew where I was going. So it wasn't like I was going to be camping in Florida. So I brought the right stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was happy to go camp in the woods, but it turned out before the night was up, I was in a mansion of a house with some good pals.
Well, no, the mansion of a house is the one next door that Road Rush went to the first time. They pulled up and I don't think this is the right house.
It's a beautiful place.
Shot at, so
the mansion was last year, and the house Jeff put us in last year was a mansion, but it only had 4 bedrooms. It didn't have as much space to have as many people, that kind of thing. It was beautiful and it was nice and it overlooked Beaver Lake and everything else, but it was also 15, 20 miles out of town. It just, I loved the house and it was a beautiful gesture. But for me, going to Spring Fling and hanging out with you guys isn't about the house. It's about the people.
Sure is.
As long as there's a bed for everybody and the heat works and the water's hot, then I'm good. The
well, Jay said it best.
It was about the bed. I just wanted a place. I didn't care if I throw up a tent in the backyard. I just wanted a place to come. It's springtime. It's going to rain. I wanted a place to get out of the rain, be in the dry, if it was raining, and not be staring at tent walls by myself.
Yeah, well, we woke up that one morning with a pretty hard frost. I don't think it melted off till 11 o'clock. So it got down chilly. So it wasn't just rain that we were contending with, but like you said, it was going to be some real chill in the air. But Jay said it best before he signed off. Whenever you're asking about the favorite things, he said it was the fellowship. You get a crew of your bros and some pals together, and there were some great ladies in the house too, and the ladies took care of us. I found some canned goods. We fried up some soup the one night. We raided the cupboard. It was kind of fun. And we did a little bit of wrench in there and stuff. Played music. It was the house as in general, hanging out with the folks there at the house with that common ground of the people. The people held us together, but that time spent at the house was really special. And it could have been anywhere, but that's where it was. And so that's burned into my brain. But,
right. But it didn't matter if it was a $600,000 house or a $200,000 house. The house isn't what made it special. It was the people that made it special.
The people. It's the people. Darren says, give me a tarp and I'm good. I've done plenty of tarp camping. Don't get me wrong, but I do like to have walls and a net of some sort.
Hey, Keke.
Somebody's home from karaoke.
But I like it whenever the mosquitoes don't chew me up while I'm sleeping.
Right.
Yeah. But I never leave home without a tarp too, because sometimes you got to just pop it up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get a kid something to eat. I'll be right back.
Okay.
How's Firecracker?
I can't hear.
She, hold on.
Hello.
How's Firecracker feeling?
I'm good.
Uh-huh. We had a few.
What's happening?
Not much.
I see that. Is that new jacket?
No, this is my
It's
old
not.
Somoto. The other one's
Okay.
camouflage.
Oh, it's camouflage. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
She
I
did a little
forgot already.
karaoke.
I didn't do karaoke.
Shh, don't tell them. You'll hurt Randall's feelings. He's gonna think he's inspired you.
No, there's no inspiring this girl.
What's your karaoke song when you do karaoke?
I don't do karaoke.
Not at all?
Nobody
Oh,
wants
okay.
to hear this girl sing.
Oh,
I just
now we
drink
do.
and I just
Now we
drink and
do.
have a
Take
good
a
time.
vote. Who thinks we should hear April sing?
Let's hear it.
No.
And a 1 and a 2 and a
No.
So I perform once in a while, right? And I tell people this is how you put it into perspective of what a performance is, because we've all had to get up at like a wedding or something like that and like give like a speech, right? You're like raise the cap.
No.
I don't have that good of friends, apparently.
Oh, you haven't? Well, if you ever do, it's kind of like that, but that's usually for like 30 seconds or 1 minute. So imagine doing that for 3 hours and you're not just talking, you're singing.
No.
That's what a live performance is.
I just want to drink.
You just want the drink.
Hey,
I want to be
April,
there
what's your
when it
favorite color?
happens.
I don't know what my favorite color is. I mean,
I don't think I've seen you without that shirt on.
I
Or
wore
at
my
least one
camo
like it.
one.
Huh?
I wore my camo one after I bought it. After
Oh, yeah.
everybody conned me into buying it.
Conned you.
Yep. It took a
That's
lot
the
of
story.
convincing.
I think you were asking people to twist your arm. I think
Yes.
that's what it was. You didn't say someone discouraged me. You said somebody encouraged me.
Where my wardrobe is all black, her wardrobe is all purple.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mike's
dig
always like, you got to get some other colors. I'm like, no.
Mine's mostly
for it.
black,
What
unfortunately.
for?
But I have to have some red for Fridays, so
Well, folks, I'm going to drop off of this live. I've really had a good time, and I know we're really just starting to meet and starting to talk and stuff, but this wasn't enough. Let's do this some more.
Oh,
all
looking
right,
forward to it.
definitely. I do lives about once a month, so
All right, well, hit me up. I'm actually going to be putting together a little streaming room, so probably take about a month or something like that till I have it up and running. But I should have that actually ready before you do your next live stream. Then, if you do one a month, so hit me up.
I think my next one will be actually. I probably won't do one until after Hog Rock, which is beginning of June. So
I do
All
one
right,
every
cool,
2
yeah,
weeks.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right,
you've
right
seen
on, right
that
on.
we need to go to Hog Rock, right?
What's
My comment?
What's the date?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we-
I
it's
put it in
the
there.
same weekend as the Harley Rumble.
Yeah. Same week.
Good to meet you
or
too,
the
Rick.
Ozark Rumbles Rally.
But there's another one. There's a
Yes,
second
Oh, yeah, we
one,
do
right?
it twice a year. So
Yeah, twice a year.
Yeah, there's one in October, I think.
yep.
Huh.
Well, I certainly
Okay,
can't
or
tell you
somebody
where I'll
wants to
be
go to
for
Hog
sure,
Rock.
but
You're
hit
more
me up.
welcome
Always
to-
keep
Hey,
keep
come
me in
hang out with
mind.
us.
I just want y'all to know the number of people watching has gone up since she joined the stream.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, it has.
Well, how
It
long
has.
have you guys been doing this? Because
Since 8 o'clock.
I was having
Almost
a good
3
time.
hours.
10 minutes.
It's magnetic.
I
You
wasn't
have
gonna leave.
magnetism.
I wasn't gonna leave the bar, but I told my daughter to pick me up at 10, and so I didn't want to ruin her night. So I said, pick me up at 10:30.
That was very kind of you.
Otherwise, I probably would have stayed longer.
I'm glad you had a ride.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say good night to everybody. It's really been a pleasure.
He's leaving.
Mike,
Night,
good night. I know you're not on the mic and stuff, but thank you. I appreciate you guys calling me up and let me be a part of this, man.
Yep.
Really cool.
And we'll do it again at some point, bud.
Yeah, and I'll be in
I usually
Arkansas
just
here in a
post a
couple of
link in the
weeks.
side chat, and just let random people join. So whenever I have
okay.
whenever we have an actual topic, like the recap of, don't want to do a recap and then invite a bunch of random people who weren't even there. So
Right.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But it sounds like live roulette. Just see what you get.
well, it tells me who's trying to join, and I mean, as long as HDAV Traveler doesn't fall asleep again.
Okay.
He passed the hell out on one of my live streams.
Oh, well.
Like snoring every once in a while. All right, let's go check on HD again. And yep, he's still breathing. We're good.
Zoom in on him, let everybody hear him snore.
Pretty much.
You probably get more viewers than when April comes on.
No.
No, it didn't do it.
Star Wars thing, doesn't it, Randall?
Say that again.
It looks like a Star Wars thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Represent the princess from Alderaan. All right, guys. I'm gonna say goodnight.
Good night.
Much love. Hey,
bud.
much love.
Nice
much
to meet
love and much respect, right? Much love, much respect. Good night.
Same, brother.
Good night.
Did you drink that whole thing? Motherfuck.
There was only half a bottle when we started.
Don't let him lie to you. He cracked that open when we started in April.
That's all right. Let him do whatever.
He ain't driving, so it's all right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say April's had a few tonight.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
No.
Drinks on the live stream, didn't she?
Most live streams, she's just sitting here very reserved.
Yeah.
He
she's
talks too much.
She's like, I'm here.
He talks too much.
We were discussing that as well. Yes.
We literally just finished giving him a bunch of crap about that.
Darren, it's not usually that bad in October. We've had rain a couple years that I've been going to October longer than I have June, but last year's was the coldest year.
Oh, but
I've had for October.
Hog.
Yeah. It's always a blast whether you go in June or October. I actually prefer October better. It's more intimate. I guess you'd say there's less people and less bullshit.
Right.
Which there's hardly any fights. Oh, you're always going to have that one douchebag, but
yeah.
In the not so ideal weather is where you find the real riders.
Well, honestly, Hog Rock is not built as a bike rally. It's built as a river rally music festival because they allow golf carts. A lot of people don't even ride their bikes down there no more because
how long I'll be up, because so I'm about done.
Everywhere you go is uphill. It's gravel.
It's 11. Yeah, it's 11.
So it's just not the best place to have a
whatever you want to do
bike because you get drunk, you drop the bike. I got a 900-pound Road Glide out there. It's a bitch to pick up.
Yeah.
I did it twice last year in October.
I'm ready to go to bed. Firecracker said you're a pussy. She told me to tell you that. I'm not kidding.
Love you.
He said, love you. See, you see why I talk so much. The more I talk, the less she insults people and calls them pussies.
I was ready for a rumble tonight, by the way.
She was ready to rumble tonight, too. She's over here telling me stories. Can y'all hear that? She's going to rumble.
I heard her say that.
Yeah.
And Darren, I don't hate the golf carts. They, in my opinion, they need to learn that, bikes always have the right of way down there, but that's my only bitch about it. A lot of them think that they're more important than anything, but it's the bikes have the right of way.
So I'm going to ask you a real quick question here, Busted. What do you got up for a background there?
This is my wife's office.
No, in the background to the stream.
Oh, that's that new 23 Road Glide CVO.
Yeah, with the squared off bags.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the bags. the fairing, the the headlights kind of growing on me, but the bags, I use all the damn space in my saddlebags I can get, and I can always use a little bit more.
But and now you're going to get to deal with variable valve timing.
Yeah. Well, I won't be buying a CVO,
which could be another reason why you can't work on your own bike.
Mike's feeling good.
Now the only thing that really entices me about buying a CVO is so I can go click and lock the saddlebags instead of spending time locking, unlocking. I just hit a little button and be done. So I need to find the kit so I can do that.
Wow.
On my bike.
How lazy.
Whoa, that's enough PDA, all right.
How lazy can we be?
Hey, if y'all don't like it, tune off. Oh, wait, it's not my channel. You can kick me off the stream if you don't want to see it.
Push a button and lock the bags.
My thing with the CVO, and somebody asked me if we were going to talk about it, and I said, this is Busted channel, and we're going to talk about Spring Fling. Somebody messaged me. They thought it was my stream tonight, and they wanted to talk about CVOs. I guess my question is going to be really, I mean, I understand they have to go to variable valve timing for EPA. That's what that drive's all about, is to get them for EPA compliance and all this shit. And for those of us that are interested in race tuners and all that, we know the EPA is cracking down on shit really hard right now. So I understand why Harley's doing it, but how long before the CVO stuff that we're seeing rolls down to the other models? Do you think it'll be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? Will they keep this 121 a CVO only model for a year or two, or will they do it for 1 year and then next year everybody gets the same motor because they don't want to have to dick around with having two different motors?
Well, hell, they're running 3 different motors now. I mean,
well, yeah, but they're all Milwaukee 8s. They're not totally different drivetrain systems. I mean, the transmission, the pictures indicate the transmission may be different. You're talking about variable valve timing. There's hints that there might be water cooling involved in the heads, like there are on some of the touring models. With this new oil cooler area, it's much bigger. One section's a honeycomb and one section's not, almost like they're cooling 2 different kinds of fluids. So I didn't go into a lot of detail on that. Well, I did a video on. I didn't call you everything.
You did that video right before. Well, you dropped that video while I was on my way to Spring Fling, right?
I did another one since.
Oh, okay. I haven't got the notification, so I guess I missed that. My bad.
Oh, YouTube will send you the notification for it in 2 or 3 days. It's only been out 2 days.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Kind of freaking annoying.
But
then they send you the notification for, hey, so-and-so just posted a video. It was me. I just posted the fucking video. I don't need to see my own video.
Don't you love it when they recommend your own video to you? It's always.
I mean, at least they got the algorithm right.
So I dropped a video 2 days ago. It's got 17,000 views, talking about what I could spot in Harley's release of these 2023s and the little video that they put out. They put a 60-second video out.
I haven't even watched Harley's video.
I tore through their video frame by frame to see what I could find. And the oil cool area has 2 different like systems for the coolers. Like one's vertical and one's honeycomb. To me, that almost means we're cooling 2 different kinds of liquids.
Yeah.
Oil versus water or something. So, and you know, some of their touring bikes have water cooling in the heads around the exhaust port with the radiators and the lower fairings. Yeah, in the lowers. So
are they the oil cooler underneath or right behind the tire?
So are they going to change this oil cooler and try and do water cooling and oil cooling out of the same area? And there's a big, concern about monoshock, and a bunch of people saying, and you'd probably have to kick me out or move me, but some people said they can see what they think is an adjustment right in here in front of the saddlebag for the suspension, like the Sport Glide has. So they think it's going to be a monoshock, which means a whole new frame.
I don't see an adjustment. I've zoomed in as much as I can zoom in on my computer.
I didn't see it either, but some people said they can see it. I don't know, but the bags are definitely different. Brembo brakes,
like the freaking intake on it.
It's definitely got Brembo brakes, radially mounted, inverted front forks. Harley Davidson came out and said it does all new suspension, all new infotainment center, 121 variable valve timing. There are certain things they've already officially announced, and it says all new suspension. So that means the rear suspension is going to be different. It doesn't guarantee it's going to be monoshock, but a lot of people believe it is.
Well, it's definitely taller on the ass end. So it's at least running a 13-inch shock on a regular, where it normally be a 12-inch, maybe even a 14-inch. That zooming in, the axle's definitely going to hit the exhaust pulling straight out.
So it's an interesting topic, and it is definitely something the community is very, very interested in. But the video I did on 2 days, like I said, hit about 17,000 views in 2 days. That's not counting today. So there's a lot of interest in it. We'll see what happens. I think as a CVO, it's going to be expensive. I mean, is it going to go from 50,000 to 60,000? What can the market bear? How much more can they do that?
The CVO Ultra that they've already got out, Road Glide Limited, sorry, they want 60 grand for it at the local dealer. I'm like, and they're going, well, once they drop these new ones, that son of a bitch is fucking, it's just going to sit there for 3 years.
I think stickers 52, and what dealers want. I know everybody's blaming the dealers for gouging, but I've got some information I'm sitting on, and that'll probably come out next month that may make you not hate the dealers quite as much.
Oh, I don't hate the dealer. I mean, I got my bike right.
But there's a reason that some of these dealers are gouging. There's things I've got 2 sources that have confirmed it, and I'm trying to get a third because nobody will go on the record about it. But have you noticed a trend? Dealerships are selling out to car companies.
Mm-hmm.
Rossmeyer, Black Hills, here in the Ozarks, Mid-America Harley Davidson. If you didn't know, Bill just sold out to a group that owns 6 other dealerships called Momentum Group. So I've heard in Canada that they will not even give a dealership to a single dealership family. You have to have multiple dealerships to buy another dealership now.
See, now my local one that I will go to only for parts, they're owned by an individual still. The next closest one, it's owned by a couple of former salesmen for another dealer down the road, and then they end up buying it too. So now they own 2 Harley dealerships, and it's a group of former salesmen.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it is way past my bedtime. So,
I think it is on our end here too, Busted. So
all right.
With Bill signing off, I think we'll sign off. We just clocked the 3 hour mark. I want to thank you for putting this together. I appreciate it, and I apologize if I ran my mouth too much and talked more than I should on the stream, but just trying to keep things moving.
All right. No, you're good. It's about like being on live with Ray. I mean, he doesn't stop talking. You don't stop talking. So I'm glad somebody was feeling the dead space, because I'm not usually that person until I've had several drinks, a lot more than I've had tonight. So, but I am going to go ahead and kill this live stream too, because my kid apparently wants something else now. So good night, everybody. I will have Jake, please step over that way. Sorry, my wife doesn't want him on camera. I will have everybody that was participating in tonight's live link down in the description, if I can, figure out how to edit that, because it was being a pain in my ass earlier.
You'll be all right. You can do it.
Yeah. But good night, everybody.
All right. Night.
Nice meeting y'all. Nice meeting you.
Night, Bill. We'll talk to y'all later.
Yep.
Nice meeting you again. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Night. There we go.